Oh, that's who this. I keep wanting to call him. You know what I want to call him?
You're right.
That's what Washington took. What up, folks? Y'all caught us in mid conversation here, man. Hold on, guys. I just got a text message from my lady. She's asking me how long I'm gonna be on. I'm gonna let y'all know right now. This is Friday night. We plan to be on until we do our third round pick. So y'all might see drinking some coffee. I needed a little evening boost. Water. Y'all might see me eat on stream. I mean, we chilling tonight. It's gonna be like y'all in the crib with me and Kenyon, Tone. Like we chilling tonight. So yeah, let me answer the text real quick. But what's up to everybody, man? Let me see. She just got her second vaccine. She said her arm is tight.
Great. I'm glad you got it though. Got out the way.
Yeah, I'm going next Friday.
Yep.
Well, what's everybody doing, man? How's everybody doing? I'm gonna run this quick banner really quick just to rehash it. And how y'all doing? We in here, man. Welcome to, I don't know what you want to call it. This ain't Terrible Towel. Last night I called it the Terrible Towel special edition, but tonight this is just draft talk with me and Kenyon and you guys in the chat. For you new guys who are here, man, we welcome you as well. And we're gonna talk about what the Steelers are gonna do here at 55, and we'll talk about basically, who might be there in the third. And what we need, we'll talk about some of the picks that have already gone. Shout outs to my little cousin, distant cousin, Javon Holland got picked up by the Dolphins. So shout outs to him, man. I hope he does his thing. And yeah, we should have some fun here tonight. Let me see what you guys got going on here in the chat really quick before we get at it. And y'all know I'm a little behind. I got that internet TV. So you guys can let me know who's I'm not too crazy like last night where I want to see it for myself. Y'all can throw it in the chat and when we pick and we'll chop it up. Vista Light said he got his first shot today. All right, man. You got Moderna or Pfizer, and how you feeling? For anybody else who might be interested in the vaccine, if you don't mind, share how you feel, man, so they can kind of see what's up with that. Sippy boy, I saw you earlier, man. I saw you a little earlier. I was peeking in on the chat where you were saying you see everybody else moving up except for us. There's no need. And I'm sure Kenya wants to comment on that. What are we moving up to get? Like, right. I think the Steelers are going to sit right where they at. Obviously, now pick 52 is in. It's still pieces. It's still, if we go center, it's still Josh Myers is right there. Creed Humphrey might be there. Dickerson went, I ain't going to say earlier than I thought, but it's still a little bit of a surprise with him having an injury. I thought maybe one of those other guys would have been picked first, not based off of talent, but there's still a lot of guys out there, man. Even, Kenyon's high on what's the name? Maya's partner in crime, Wyatt. Who said we had to go center? We might go guard and convert somebody. Who knows? So I don't think we needed to move. I don't think we're going to go defense on this pick. I hope they don't surprise me and do something crazy. I hope they go ahead and go offensive line since they took the running back first. And I'll definitely explain that during this show as well, why they did that. But yeah, man, Kenyon, whatever thoughts you got on, should we have traded up by now? Was there a reason to do it? Any thoughts you have on some of the guys who've already been snagged up?
It's not. No, I mean, trading up for what? Like, you said it best. Who we trading up for? Was there anybody that we actually needed to trade up at to trade up spots? If you know how to work, they kind of try to sit. They trade up when they feel like they have to corner in on a certain player. But if you look how the board's falling, you can still get Creed Humphrey. You can still get Quinn Miners is there. Whoa. You can depending on who's left.
See
Pat Fry
Cleveland.
move. Uh-oh. Hold up.
Look at Cleveland, boy.
Hold up.
Let's see what's going to happen here.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Did they take who I think they took? Oh, they about to tell me right now. So
yeah, man, they took, man.
They took JOK. Well, somebody said they got Cosme. Who got Cosme? Cosme already gone, right?
Yeah, you already gone.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Cosme.
Well, here's the thing, guys, and I'm not trying to throw any rain on Cleveland's parade, and I'm not hating or anything like that. This pick for them kind of reminds me of Jabril Peppers with them. Did they pick him? Didn't they draft Peppers? They didn't really.
Yeah.
Didn't they? Because then the Giants got him now or something, right?
They drafted him. Yeah, they drafted him. He was drafted by Cleveland.
Meaning, maybe, I don't know. Maybe they don't know what to do with him. But if they figure it out, yeah, Cleveland going to be a little nasty. Yeah, they're going to be a little nasty.
Because he's undersized right now. So you have to figure out where you're going to play him at. You know what I mean? If he sideline to sideline, he's a beast. You know what I mean? And he would look nice again. He would look nice next to Reggie Bush. I mean, Devin Bush, my bad.
Devin Bush, yeah.
I got Reggie Bush in my mind. So, yeah, I mean that's Cleveland. Cleveland, look everybody. Cleveland's making moves to be a force in the AFC North. They're doing what they need to do. They're actually doing the right thing for the first time in a while. So it's just another team in our division that's trying to rise up. Because if you remember, only one team has a rival. Only one team has the same rival, and that's the Steelers. The Bengals don't like them. Ravens don't like them. The Browns don't like them.
Right.
So I'm not worried about it. I mean, but that's a good pick for Cleveland. I mean, that's a good pick.
Very good pick.
Especially for him falling that far.
And I'm not going to be a hater, guys. I'm not going to be if you're not going to be fair and size up your competition, then you're not a real fan. I mean, we have to acknowledge Cleveland is here. They got us up out the playoffs for whatever reason we want to say. Yeah. If we want to say it was offensive line, and it was Ben, it was coaching. I mean, any reason you want to say. The fact is, they got us up out of the playoffs on our home field. They have talent. I think the talent has cultivated a little something over the last, I'll say, year and a half-ish. They not the same Browns. They back. But I will say this too, if you want to be optimistic. We've seen a Browns team that was loaded with talent and they didn't do nothing. So I'm not scared of Cleveland, but I'm going to acknowledge, they're here. Because y'all heard me talk about this dude quite often last year. Nick Chubb is a serious problem. I don't care that he's with the Browns. That dude is a problem. He will make you miss. He will run you over. He can stiff arm you, and when he gets in open field, he's usually to the house. I'm a little afraid of that. Hopefully our run defense can get back where it needs to be, because Cleveland, that's the thing. They don't have to do much. They can play old school Steeler football. Run the rock, run the rock, run the rock. Edge rushes on the end. Lockdown. They got corners that they try to press from time to time. I mean, I'm just saying. We need to at least pay attention to them. Let's not act like they. I seen somebody in here say Cleveland Clowns. I know it's all fun and games, but let's be honest, man. That could be us soon if the right things don't work out for us. Exactly. Look beyond this year. We could end up being that team that's climbing out of the bottom, trying to get ourselves back together. So, gotta respect your division, man.
The Tennessee Titans got Dylan Raduns, man.
Oh, Raduns, okay. He's what's he, a tackle, right? Or guard? Tackle. Yeah.
He's a tackle.
That's all right, guys.
He's a legit left tackle.
Yeah. I ain't mad at that, though, because I'm going to be honest. I know it hurts and it stings a little bit. I'd rather us go center. Reason why is because Freiermuth, what happened? What happened with Freiermuth? Oh, Kenyon frozen. Kenyon's frozen. What happened? Oh, there you go. He back.
No, Pat Freiermuth might be on the board. He might be on the board.
He might be.
So I mean,
yeah, but what I was saying,
the Steelers,
do they take him?
Yeah.
At 55? Yeah. Oh man. Let's analyze that.
Yes.
Let's analyze it from this standpoint, Steelers fans. What do we really need as far as the offensive line? I'm not saying judging it by who's on the roster now, which that's easy to do. What I'm saying is if you know you need a center, you have somebody who's probably going to be the new left tackle in a Chooks. You have somebody you're familiar with at right tackle in Zach Banner. You have Kevin Dotson, who's going to pretty much be a new full-time starter. You have a right guard in David DeCastro. Which position on the offensive line is the biggest need? Like, I know we're seeing a lot of these tackles go, but this ain't me talking. I'm talking from the Steelers standpoint. Do you think the Steelers look at it like, well, look, we have a line in place now. You know, our biggest primary need might be center. So they also know their big need is tight end. So if Freiermuth is there, it's very possible that the Steelers have him ranked higher than anybody else at 55. And I know people are going to lose their mind if they go tight end right now, because most people, and we'll talk about the Naji thing, but most people lost their mind saying we shouldn't have drafted the running back. I get it, but I think y'all going to blow your mind again if we go with Freiermuth. But the Steelers, I guess what I'm saying is they still got time to get another offensive lineman. You know, are they starter material in most people's eyes? I'll probably say no, because most people are looking at it like this. If you don't get in the first, second round, then, you know, they're not projected to be much. But projections don't always, that ain't the end of the world. You know, we could definitely find a guy, third, fourth, that might step in there and be a solid center. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I'm not going to be too harsh on them as far as who they pick. Now, if Creed is right there, might be hard to pass. Hey man, I don't know. Like, Kenyon, honestly, man, I'm gonna ask you, because maybe I'm looking at it a little differently. How do you really feel about Freiermuth though, top to bottom? Well, what does he give us, like, from a Steelers standpoint, as far as the type of tight end they look for?
I mean, I told you when I watched him at first, you know, I had him higher earlier in the process. You know, I talked about Freiermuth a lot. You know, it was always Kyle Pitts, Freiermuth. But, you know, if you watch him play, he doesn't do anything to me that's special, where it makes me say, well, I have to have that dude. I guess the question would be, is he elite at anything to me coming into the draft? Can he be elite at anything? And I guess that would be my question. And him sitting out also hurts, or getting hurt, and then he just opted out. But then, you know, when I watched Trimble, and I was just watching Notre Dame play, he just kept popping up because he kept making all these crunch blocks and all these devastating blocks. So I was like, I want that guy. If you're trying to run, that's what I want. You know what I mean? Because I can work with the catching part is irrelevant, because if Ebron's on one side and I have Trimble, and I can work Trimble and develop him, I already got the blocking part. You know what I mean? So as much as I like Freiermuth, I wouldn't be mad if they picked Freiermuth. But my thing is, I would prefer Trimble, just because of the way, how aggressive he is. You know what I mean? And the way that he blocks, and his technique, and the fact that they use him as H-back. He's always watching those Notre Dame games, he was just knocking dudes off. It was interesting. He was doing it against Clemson. I mean, he was just doing it. So I had to show him respect. So to me, I like I think I like Trumbull a little bit better than Frymouth. I think the Steelers could probably look. Our pick is up. I think they can address the center position now, and then in the third round, you could go wherever you want to go, whether it's tight end or cornerback or linebacker. So, that's from what I've seen. That's what I would think they would do or may do, I should say.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's kind of how I feel too.
It's just what I'm getting.
Yeah, man. And I think I don't want to say this to slight him because it's the college game, but I saw a lot of college open with Freiermuth, down the seam. Now some of it could be him, but a lot of it I was just like, I mean, this dude is wide open. Somebody blew a coverage and like you said, man, I think if we're talking about a Steelers tight end at this point, we got to be looking for the guy that can help in the run game. Because honestly, if we're being honest, Ebron gives us kind of what we need in the passing game. I know sometimes he has drop problems, but think back to the whole season. Like Ebron actually gave us some moments. If we just talking about somebody that can get down the seam, stretch the defense a little bit, we need that Spaeth type of dude. Or if we get lucky, a Heath Miller that kind of can do it all. That ain't happening with Freiermuth, I don't think. Somebody said he's a Jesse James. Yeah. I saw somebody say Freiermuth is Jesse James 2.0. I don't even know if I would say that. I think Freiermuth has the potential to be a little better than Jesse in terms of, but all right, guys.
Here we go,
Steelers.
See what's up.
I'm gonna rub the rubber ducky, but good luck. Yo, I don't even know where this came from, man. Look at this guy. My wife probably got it from somewhere. Rubber ducky. All right, I'm gonna listen to this one. I ain't gonna look at y'all. I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna hear this one.
There you go.
I said I won't gonna do that, but I want to get my real reaction by seeing it. So you guys in the chat, maybe even Kenyon, y'all already know. I'm about to see it in a second. Franco, just to let y'all know, the delay aspect I have. Franco right now is swinging some type of mini towel. He just got to the podium. He just wiped his nose. So I'm about to hit a pick. And shout outs to Cousin Floyd if he's in here, man. I'm gonna tell a funny story. My older brother said Franco Harris is soft. I'll tell y'all why in a minute. Come on, give it to me, Franco. Uh-huh. There he is. Well,
there you go.
Well, Albie, you know what? Hey, man, let me look at the chat and see how you guys reacted. And then me and Kenya will talk about it. Build his life. I'm gonna have to ask you to calm down a little bit. Why do we jump to that so fast? We blew it. How? And I'm saying that respectfully, obviously. I want to hear your thoughts when you say we blew it, because this is kind of gonna lead me into the point about Naji. So actually, I'm gonna switch up this banner now that we know who we picked. I want to see what you guys had to say in the chat. Then me and Kenyon gonna chop this thing up. Creed seems like a reach here. Okay, I like that. Wade Johnson. Few late night says, "Dang man." Kenyon says, "Tight end." Yep. Kenyon already was all over that. Kenyon mentioned it about 5 minutes ago. If you guys were listening to that. It doesn't matter who we pick. They are now Steelers. Yep. And who else? Actually, I think we go Nick Bowden. Okay, see, a lot of these guys y'all talking about, we can get them a little later. We need a line to block. I feel you, Build This Life, but let's dive into that really quick, Kenyon, and then we'll bring it back home to Fryer Move and all of that. So I wanted to say this really quick, and I'm gonna do the cheat code that I see a lot of people do on podcasts, and they take individual clips of their podcast and make it a separate video. So I'm about to do that. So let me turn the TV down because I'm gonna clip this. I want to talk about why the Steelers drafted Naji Harris before we reflect on Fryer Move. Okay, here it goes. I saw some people kind of upset about that, even the media pundits, you know, some of these so-called analysts. Everybody's opinion is their opinion. My opinion is not the golden ticket. Kenyon's opinion is not the golden ticket. Your opinion is not the golden ticket. None of us have the right answer. We all just have opinions. But let me try to explain why I think the Steelers went with Naji Harris. Art Rooney said we need to fix the run game. I know what most of you guys are going to say. I think me and Kenyon feel the same way. You give a decent running back a line, and they'll be able to run, right? But it's obvious that the Steelers wanted to get one of the top tier running backs. I don't think they believed they were going to get this guy in the second round. You don't believe me? Who went right after Naji? ETN. Who went real early in the second round? My God. Javonte Williams. Yes, me and Kenyon both said we would settle for Trey Sermon. We would. But do you think the Steelers would have pulled that trigger in the second round, seeing as what just happened here? And I know that's not fair because obviously if we would have picked offensive line in the first round, who knows what, will we still be thinking tight? I don't know. But the point is, do you think the Steelers would have gone Trey Sermon at 55? And if they didn't, is he still going to be there by the next pick? So my point is, a guy like Naji it's hard to pass a guy like that, right? It's almost like when, and this is a bad example because he's been injured, but it's almost like Saquon Barkley. It's hard to pass that up. It's hard. Yeah. It's hard to have a dude like that looking you in your face like this, and you be like, no, we'll go elsewhere. That's hard, y'all. So I only say that for Steeler fans and media pundits, whoever might see this, the Steelers are going to address the offensive line at some point. Yep. Where in this draft? I don't know. Honestly, I thought maybe at 55, but we need a tight end too. And Fryer Move is probably projected to be, he's probably the number 2 tight end in this draft. What me and Kenyon both said, and I'll lean more on Kenyon with this because he's been more on Tommy Tremble than me. I agree with that assessment. Much better blocker. But we have to look at it like this too. Matt Canada might be putting this offense together as well. So let's just be patient. Let's be patient with the team. Like, why do we think we know more than the NFL scouts? And granted, I will tip my hat a little bit. I think Kenyon does a phenomenal job. I follow that up. I think I do pretty decent with some of these players, but y'all know why we love Kenyon. Kenyon be all over these players. Maybe we could do something if we were employed at an NFL organization, but I'm going to respect their position and respect our team and say they know what they're doing. So I'm never going to say they blew it unless we would have picked – we didn't pick Leatherwood. You know what I'm saying? We didn't do that. We didn't jump out the window and pick somebody like that. Right. So you guys got to be patient with it, man. You know we're going to address offensive line somewhere. I can't be mad at the Naji pick, even though, again, let me be on full display and say this. I would have been good with skipping Naji, hopefully getting somebody like, obviously, we won't get my guy Williams. Maybe we get Trey Sermon later. I would have been cool with that. But I am in no way, shape, or form upset that we took Naji. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, Our offensive line is some talent on there. Question marks are Chooks at left tackle. And honestly, you know what? And Kenyon, I think, has been nudging me on this too. I'm a little more confident in Zach Banner than I think a lot more people are. I was more so talking about him playing left tackle. At right tackle, I'm okay with that. We know he can block. Remember, he used to 72's eligible. We seen this all the time. So I'm cool with. So let's, we got Dotson. I think even if we don't add a piece, which we are going to, I think the offensive line will be able to get the job done. Sometimes it's about attitude. Let's be honest. We've gotten rid of some of the weaker links. I was the guy that used to rag on Fowler a lot. He's gone. I started being very upset with little Al. He's gone. So I'm just saying, man, we're going to go offensive line at some point, but they had to take Naji. It was obvious they wanted her back, and I seriously believe that they really liked Naji, Javonte, probably liked Sermon, but it's kind of like, do you take the chance? You take the chance and not get Sermon later when Naji was sitting right there. So I get it, y'all. And listen, I made the argument too. It's hard to put a 5th-year option on a running back, but I would have took Naji too. I'm serious. I'm just be honest. But there you go. My bad. But as far as the Fryer move thing, and then I'll throw it to Kenyon, and please, Kenyon, take it away. We need a tight end, man. I'm not too keen on his blocking skills. I think now I'm going to really have to focus in on 2019 tape and just see everything he has. Is there any potential there? But I'm not upset with the pick. I think Freiermuth will be able to be a threat. I think, Ben Roethlisberger is going to go to him if we're in some, 2 tight end sets or something like that. So I'm not mad at that, but I did kind of want to see a Creed Humphrey or somebody maybe get picked right there at 55. So that would be my only critique, but I'm not bashing my team. And until they do something stupid, I got to live with the picks, man. So sorry, guys. I went on a little rant there, but Kenyon, what's your overall take on taking Naji, Freiermuth, whatever you got? Oh, you might be frozen. Hold on, guys. I think Kenyon is frozen. Let me send him a quick message. Oh, there you go. He back.
Certain people react to each pick. Are we back? We cool? We good?
Yeah, you cool. You cool now. Yeah.
Okay. I never understand how people react to certain picks, but Pat Freiermuth, I talked about him last year, which is interesting. I talked about him last year, and I just said 5 minutes ago that watching tape, I like Trimble better as a blocker, but as a more complete tight end, Pat Freiermuth is better than him. He can catch, he can block. He's just not elite at it as like what I saw from Trimble. And maybe it's an incomplete analysis because he didn't really play for the rest of it. After he opted out or got hurt and opted out. But I'll never understand. And one thing people have to realize is he helps the run game. However you want to look at it, he helps the run game. Obviously, Canada has some influence on certain people that they wanted. And remember, the Pittsburgh Steelers were at Penn State's pro day and were working out Pat Freiermuth. Remember that. They worked him out. So people already knew that he was on the radar because we talked about it on the steel table. So it's not a surprising pick to say you should take Creed Humphrey or you should take somebody else is there. Maybe the value wasn't there for them at that pick at 55. They're going to have their board, and as Sim said, we all want to be GMs, but remember, we're not getting paid for it. So it's always an opinion. It's an assessment. It's and Sim and I can be accurate in some points, but I always tell you guys, I don't expect it to go 100%. I expect to go, if I go 80, I'm happy. That's a good day for me. So the way I look at it is Pat Pat Freiermuth has some type of upside, and Sim made a great point. It's attitude. It's what we're trying to portray for the future of our squad. You know what I mean? We want to get back to bludgeoning people. So what do? You get a bruiser running back in the first, and you get a big tight end in the second. That's what you do. You know what I mean? And then in the third, you can get your offensive lineman, guard, tackle, center, whatever. And then you can get something else, because we have, in the fourth, you can really load up. Remember, Colbert said there is depth at the tackle, guard, and center positions. He kept saying this. So obviously they have a board where they're looking at it and they see it and they know what's going on. And I mean, that's basically it. It's almost like every pick, it's like you say, a pick is terrible. I mean, keep that same energy if the dude plays well. If he plays well, I want that same person coming in here and saying their thoughts if that person balls out. That's what I want to hear. Keep saying they're terrible. Because at that moment, the answer is right in front of your face. And, somebody in the comments said something about our offense. Nobody complained about our offense in the beginning of the year when we were winning and this and that. I said, but look, the offensive cracks, if you remember, Sim talked about this. The offensive cracks in our offense were happening while we were winning. We said it. We said, oh, they can't run it. They can't run the ball. And that comes back to bite you. Once teams started to man up and knew Ben couldn't throw deep, there you go.
It was a wrap.
So it was a wrap. So our offensive system, and that's also our former offensive coordinator's offense, which is why they didn't retain him. These are all things that you have to factor in what the Steelers were thinking. And Art Rooney spoke on this. Art Rooney's been talking about the run game for 2 years. And he gave them a chance, last year, and they didn't expound on it. And part of it, you could say, it wasn't injuries, because the injuries are part of the game. You have to run. The system is the system. And, those backs, James Conner was off injured. And people bailed on James Conner last year. One called him a bum, wanted him gone. And so it's, look, I'm not fickle like that. So I don't get in my feelings like that. You know what I mean? So it's, people are welcome to do that. We're all human. I'm not fickle like that. I'll always look at the big picture. If somebody's playing bad, I'll at least give you a shot. I don't bail out on you early. I'll bail out on you after 3 years. And then that's when I'll start calling you by a number or something. You know what I mean? But if but if you don't, but I'll always give you a chance and let you develop and see what you are. And you have to trust that they know what they're doing with their picks. And Colbert's history is he's a great GM. He was ranked the second best GM in the NFL. What can you say? The only thing they have trouble drafting is cornerback in the first round.
Yeah.
That's it. Everything else they're pretty good at. So to me, I look at it like these two picks to me are positive picks because they went offense, both to help the run game. And Freiermuth is good. He's not like he's not a beast. And he can become what he can become. And to me it just goes back to that watching that Penn State Pro Day and then working him out. That says a lot to me, man, when they work you out. When the coach goes on there and works you out and he's giving you all this attention, that's telling me a lot. Because that's saying, okay, they have identified this kid, you know what I mean? And they may have identified Tommy Tremble if Freiermuth wasn't there. But it's just like whoever's on your board, however you have them ranked, that's who you pick. So it's a value situation. It's not what a want, it's a value. And so I would just tell people to have an open mind on those situations. And look, there are teams in this draft that have questionable draft picks. And I'm not going to say no team's name, but the Cincinnati Bengals. And
right.
Me and Sim we were like texting each other like, there they go. Cincinnati Bengals do it again. I mean, drafting the offensive lineman, it's like, are you serious? That guy wasn't even, he could have went 4th round. That's how good he was. So, we just have to wait and see. We're all watching the draft together. Look, I like what they've done so far, personally. I mean, I like what they've done. And they can only improve to me. You know what I mean? So I'm good with it. But that's how I feel about it.
Oh.
And Nick Bolton.
Hey, I just saw that.
Nick Bolton.
No worries, folks. I like Nick Bolton, though. I do. But this is what I'm saying, man. A lot of these players, this is the draft for you. I didn't know he was gonna go this early.
Right.
I thought Nick Bolton might have been, and this ain't because of his talent. It's just how the draft goes. I thought he might be a 3rd round pick. And here Kansas City is like, no, let's go get him now. So
right.
you never know who's gonna be who. You know what I mean? You never know who's gonna be who when it comes to the draft.
Is that a question?
You never know who's gonna show up on your stream while you stream. But yeah, let's answer that. Watch out, boy.
He made that quick, son, because he knows I'm coming.
All right, get out of here. So you see, let's answer Debbie's question really quick. I'll throw it to you, Kenyon. I think I got to help him with something really fast. Okay. Debbie says, question, is this projected Canada offense we're speaking of what we think or what we know he can do? Isn't this still an unknown? Great question.
Well, it's an unknown because he's never been an offensive coordinator in the NFL. But the blueprint of his offense is there, because if you look at what he did in Maryland and you look at what he did at Pitt, then the blueprint of his offense is there. All you have to do is, Debs, and I would encourage you, just go to YouTube and you type in Matt Canada offense, and you'll see exactly what that offense is. It's an RPO offense that's run heavy. That's exactly what it is. And he ran it at Maryland, and it helped Anthony McFarland have a breakout year while he was there. That Maryland offense was averaging 250 yards plus rushing every game when Matt Canada became the head coach there. So he's an innovative offensive coordinator in the likes of Shanahan in San Francisco. So that's what you can expect. But as I told you guys before, you're not going to see that true offense unfold until Ben is actually gone, because he wants a quarterback that's RPO available, that can be an RPO guy. That's what Matt Canada likes in his offense. So you're not going to see his full potential of that offense until Ben is gone. But you can do a variation of the offense while Canada is there and while Ben is still there. And if you go run heavy, you'll see pieces of it. He can integrate little pieces of it. And he tried to do it earlier in the season, if you remember, with that motion that you saw in the beginning of the year with whatever, using jet sweeps and all that stuff, and using Claypool and using Deontay and using Ray McLeod. That beginning part was Matt Canada influence type sets. And then as the season went along, they went away from it when Ben wanted to start throwing the ball 50 times again when they were down points. That's when he went away from it. So, I don't have the worry or a question. It's a great question, but I don't have that same worry for Matt Canada. And the beauty of that offense is that if that offense gets rolling, it opens up all kind of pass, play action passes. And if you watch that Maryland offense, and Sim knows this, that offense was explosive. With that Matt Canada offense, it was explosive. So, I would just tell you, Debs, just for me, I'm not worried, because he's had influence on the draft process. He's been at certain places with Tomlin and Colbert. So that tells me everything I need to know. So, I'm cool with Matt Canada, but like I said, we won't see the full potential of that offense until after Ben, or AD, after Ben, when we see the next quarterback, because he wants an RPO guy. And me and Sim joke about it, but there's an RPO guy that we love that they can get next year that can run that offense perfectly. And he's in North Carolina. So, Sam Howell will be perfect. So, I would just tell you just to, we have to give him a shot. When he starts messing up for a while, then you can form an opinion on him. But I don't have any worries about Matt Canada. I would just encourage you, Debs, go on YouTube and type in Matt Canada's offense. And there are little snippets of it. We showed it before Sim got monetized about it, but demonetized, let's say. So I would tell you to go YouTube, and you can find, he showed you the sets. There's like videos that show you the sets, show you how they're running offense. So I have a positive attitude as far as Matt Canada goes.
Yeah, I'm very interested, man, to see what he brings to the table. I'm very interested in seeing, man. And just to answer a couple of things here, and sorry, guys, I told you, man, when I stream this way, sometimes I'll see the donations late. So I want to thank everybody for the donations. Appreciate that. Throw a round of applause to you guys. Hopefully you'll hear it. Hold on, give me a second. I don't think it's connected, but I will connect it. But thank you. Let's read some of the things that you guys said. C. Antoine Hill says, I think the Steelers saved Naji's career because we have Snell and Ant to help him with the load. Okay. What else we got? But Naji is Steelers picking him. That means he's going to be Le'Veon Bell. He'll be on the field
Day one
all the time. He will be a 3-down back. Snell will actually be there to spell. That's about it. McFarland is probably he'll be in some packages, I think. I Matt Canada definitely will draw some things up for him.
Yep.
Justin Bozeman says, hate the picks. They believe the issue was scheme. Okay. Everybody's opinion is rightfully to it. I feel you, as far as you having that opinion, I would like to hear more though. That's kind of how I operate. Even when I agree with somebody, a lot of times I want to hear the thought behind it. So if you don't mind, Justin, if you could say why you hate the picks, like go into a little more detail. We just want you to share your thoughts. Right. Thank you again, Justin, for another donation. He says Canada has never utilized the tight end on any OC job. Okay. All right. All right. Ain't mad at that assessment. But yeah, definitely want to know why you hate the picks. Like, honestly, I know some people wanted to go offensive line first, but to say you hate the pick of Najee Harris, that's a little strong. I will honestly say, go ahead, King.
You have to expound on that because if you're going to say you hate the pick, you have to expound on why you hate it. And to say Matt Canada's never used the tight end in any of his offenses as an OC, that would be incorrect because at LSU, he used the tight end a lot. I would encourage you to go back and watch LSU when he was there. I'm just giving you a little help. He will use the tight end if he has a tight end. This is the NFL. You have to use the tight end. So I would encourage you to go back and watch LSU and even Pitt. He used it at Pitt too. So Maryland is a different story because I don't recall them having like a great tight end, but he used the tight ends to block. So you can spin it any way, however you want to look at it. Using the tight end doesn't mean they have to get a reception. Using tight end means that you're using somebody to block, to potentially catch passes in certain situations. And now on that offense, if you're saying Ebron, if you're starting in Eric Ebron as tight end 1, and you have let's just assume Pat Freiermuth wins the number 2 job, right, Sam? He will win the second tight end job. Yeah, he's the other tight end. So if you're having both of them there, then they can utilize both of them. And you also have to remember, Justin, Ben loves tight ends. So Ben will have a say in, let's try to use some of these tight ends. And he loved Ebron. So as Sim said, Ebron did get open a lot, last year. Yeah. So, I would just encourage you to do that. You can't, if he had that same pattern, I would agree with you, Justin, but I've seen him use them. So I can't agree with you on that. But it's a great question, a great opinion. I like it.
Yeah, man. And definitely appreciate that, Justin, man. Share your thoughts. That's what we're all about here. I could be wrong, but I don't recall seeing your name before. So you might be, a newer viewer. So if you are, welcome. But what we do here, and what I try to bring with each show is it's a community thing. We're family. There's no right and wrong answer. We might go back and forth like barbershop talk, but it is. I appreciate it. That's why I always get people to talk. Like I want to hear your actual thoughts so we can have a conversation. Shout outs, man, to Miss Odessa, and let me take time to do that to all of the lovely ladies of Steeler Nation. Odessa, I saw Debbie, I saw Lanisha, and I don't know if the others are here, but hello to you all. Thank you for the donation. We appreciate you, Odessa, as well as Antoine with another donation. Thank you as well. He says, I know that, Sim, but I mentioned that to calm down some of those who dislike us not taking Naji and their concerns about his age and his mileage. Yeah, I feel you. I feel you, Antoine Hill. And that's the thing, because I even said it myself. I did say it's a little tougher to anticipate a 5th-year option on a running back because of their lifespan. But to play the flip side of the coin, I mean, if you get a solid 4 years out of a top running back in the league, I mean, it may have been worth your pick. You know, I mean, everybody's not going to play on your team for 10 years or retire from your team. It just doesn't. And I get it. I'm with you guys as far as there's probably other running back talent. I mean, hey, some of you may feel like Benny Snell is enough. I don't know. You know, some people might feel like they want to see more from Anthony McFarland. I'm one of them. Some people might feel like Kalen Ballage was. It could go either way, but I just don't think. Would I have taken him in the first round? Maybe, but it would have been a tough decision depending on who else was there. It was word on the street was the Steelers were concerned with Dickerson's health. So you take him off the board at 24. Zaven Collins was gone. So if you're thinking the Steelers was going defense, he probably would have been more of the guy that most of us loved and thought maybe the Steelers might go after as well. He was already gone. The top corners that would, project to be first round talent already gone. Or did Stokes? Stokes went behind us or right before us? Stokes went to who? Who did Eric Stokes go to? Philly, right? Or
Eric Stokes went to.
Was it Philly?
No. He went to.
I can't remember, but I can't remember if it was before. I think it was after the 24th pick.
Eric Stokes went to Green Bay.
It was Green Bay, right? Yeah, the 29th. So
29.
That's an argument there. Could the Steelers have gone corner? But we know as a fan base how we feel about the Steelers drafting corner in the first round. So it's kind of like, we know their philosophy. We are going, what COVID always say, we're going to take the best player on the board.
Yep.
And I'm not saying that none of us have to agree with it. I'm just simply trying to reel us in a little bit, because again, like I saw Tony say in the chat, Naji go out there and rush for 1,500 yards somehow. I don't think I'm going to hear nobody. I don't think I'm going to hear nobody's mouth. You know what I'm saying? So, and I get it. I get what you guys are saying. We need O-line help. Yes, we do. But listen to what Cobra said. I'm not saying this from my opinion. I'm just saying, listen to what they told us. They feel like offensive line is deep. So to me, that kind of said, well, maybe we won't go offensive line second round or first round. Clearly we didn't.
And to make a point and to piggyback off of what Sim just said, last year wasn't nobody talking about Kevin Dotson.
Yeah,
and he was picked where he was picked, which is called depth in the draft, right? So do you have to get offensive alignment in the first and the second round? Was it a must? Was it a need? Did you have to do it? No. That's why you scout. That's why you have multiple people at multiple spots if somebody grades out the same, and also people will fall. So I'm just saying, when you do that, like when people do that, I always say to myself, yeah, but they're paid professionals. That's what they do. So you're questioning the guy who built the team up before and has won 2 Super Bowls and went to 3. I'm just asking a question. That's the guy you're questioning. Now, it'd be different if and I hate to use this team, it'd be different if we were like the Cincinnati Bengals and their GM. They never won. Yeah. Or if it was a team that's never won. But you're questioning the GM that drafted all those players and won 2 Super Bowls and went to 3. So he doesn't know what he's doing. He's making bad picks. Okay. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Justin, appreciate the donation, man. You guys are loading up on donations tonight. Y'all too kind, man. I'm going to throw your comment here on the screen so we can all see it. Hold on, let me see who the Bills took. 1 second. Okay. Carlos Basham.
Yeah.
Justin says, where is Harris going to run when DeCastro and Chooks get blown off the ball? Who is your backup left tackle? Everything in football starts up front, soft O-line. Hey,
yo, let me go first, man, because he messed up on that. I got to attack this one. I got to attack this one.
Go ahead.
This is round 2. We're in round 2. We are in round 2. Let me repeat that. We have 6 picks left. You can still get a backup left tackle. You can still get a backup right tackle. You can still get a center. You can still get a backup guard. So you're saying the first 2, if you don't get an O-line in the first 2 picks in the deep O-line draft, then it doesn't work. It's a new offensive line coach who came out and said, if you watch his thoughts about it, that we were soft, we have to be tough. Adrian Clem. He did say this before the draft. So I don't know how to quell your concerns, Justin, when you say where and when, but this is round 2. So if the draft is over with and they don't make any move like that, you have a valid point. But right now, I can't take it seriously because we're in round 2. So that's how I feel about that. But appreciate the donation and appreciate the question. I'm just saying. Round 2.
Yeah. Definitely. Thank you, Justin, man. And keep commenting. I enjoy the conversation. But I will agree with Kenyon on this respect. It's early, and I get it. Look, I've said this a lot of times in years past doing the show. A lot of us at times, we all do at times, right? There's parts where we get caught up in where guys get picked, and then there's other times where we all come back to earth and say, well, it doesn't. The draft does matter from this respect. Obviously, you have to go off of projections. I mean, that's just how the system is built.
Yep.
You have to project. So I get why some people are saying, no, man, but we got to get Jenkins. We got to get Slater. I get it. But again, that doesn't mean that the Steelers can't get offensive line depth later. It doesn't mean they can't get a center later. Maybe they just didn't get. No, not my guy.
Yeah, our guy is gone, man.
Well,
gone, man.
Quinn Miners. Maybe Miners.
Yep. Yep.
But here's the thing, too. To be honest with you guys, and this one's gonna hurt because I don't think all of us want to face these facts. Steelers got a lot of holes, man. A lot. So where you look at a team like the Packers and others, I never try to compare what other teams do, what we do, because everybody values things differently.
Right.
But the Steelers have a lot of holes. We needed a tight end.
Yes.
We needed a premier running back. I mean, whether we want to agree to that or not, we did. Because that's still a football. Yep. I know the routine, the way the league is transitioning, you have 3 and 4 running. When we were the Steelers and the Steelers were doing their thing, we always had a premier running back. Even when the Killer Bees were there, Le'Veon Bell was the premier running back. So it's not a surprise to me that philosophy didn't change. And that's from way up top. I think that's what Rooney meant when he said we have to fix the run game. Yep. Some of that was him saying we need a real guy. No disrespect to the others, but we need a Jerome Bettis, Le'Veon Bell, a guy that we can depend on. So you knew that was coming, right? But also, tight end, we needed that. Now, we can always argue where we take guys, but we need that. We need a center. The line, even though I earlier explained where you may not have to worry too much, there is still concern with the line. I mean, we need an edge.
Yeah.
We need a corner.
Yeah.
It's so much. So
we need a safety.
We need a bunch of stuff, man. So I think this draft alone, we can't be mad.
Nah.
Oh, Creed gone.
Yeah, Creed gone, man. I was waiting for you to finish. Creed gone.
Don't worry, guys. At this point, listen. At this point, let's just wait and see what happens.
That's all you can do.
That's all you can do. That's
all you can do. I mean, I'm not trying I don't like giving praise to other teams, but Kansas City, those are great picks. I'm just keeping it real. Those are great picks. If you want to protect Pat Mahomes, if you watched the Super Bowl last year and you saw how he was running around, running for his life, that's what you do. You know what I mean? And you get him a center. They lost some people, gained some people. Being honest, I like what Kansas City's done. Nick Bolton, linebacker. I mean, their defense is average, so. To add Nick Bolton helps them. So
that's a big dog right there. Good God.
Yes.
So, but yeah, man. And like I said, I'm not gonna try to make people feel better. I want everybody to have their own raw opinions. Mm-hmm. But Kansas City, they set at running back. They're set at tight end. I mean, I know it looks like, well, other teams are going, but look at the teams. Steelers have a lot of holes to fill. And I just think that Kevin Colbert laid it out for us early. They said, look, man, we're going to go best player available. That's just what we're doing this time. Yep. It's just that simple. And y'all always got to pay attention in the offseason. I know this might not make you guys feel better, but signing guys like BJ Finney, bringing, banner back and stuff like that, man. It's like it might be possible. Steelers hold fast and they just say, look, we all right with what we got at the O-line. They might do that. I'm just preparing everybody.
Yeah.
And I think where me and Kenyon, where we are with it is we can be disappointed, but we never get down on I don't have that, they're stupid bone in my body when I talk about the team. You know what I mean? Because I love the team regardless.
Right.
I might disagree with a pick, but I'm not going to go off the deep end and, that was stupid. I mean, again, if we were taking bad guys, if Naji Harris was, I ain't trying to disrespect nobody.
Artie Burns?
Yeah. Or I'll give you another one who's in this draft, who's probably decent, but I would have had my jaw would have dropped if they would have drafted Gainwell at 24. I would have been like, huh?
Yes.
How you do that?
Yes.
With Naji, ETN, Williams, they all there. Trey Sermon. How do you that would have made me go, hold on now, time out.
Right.
But if I can look at the pick and say, okay, I see what they drafted. It might not be the position that I want, you guys want, but what I always say, when they're on the team, now I got to start looking at it like, all right, was this a good pick? Where does this guy fit? I don't think we can disagree that Naji Harris and Pratt Freiermuth are bad players to have picked. The only thing we might say is, dang, I wish we would have got Josh Myers right there. I would have took that. Right. Dang, I wish we would have got Creed Humphrey right there. I would have took that. Dang, man, I wish we would have went Nick Bolton. I might not have been for that in the second round, but only because of the holes. Remember the holes we got.
Yeah.
So that's all I'm saying, y'all. Let's have our opinions. But y'all ain't never gonna hear me say go crazy with the whole. Oh man, what are they stealing? Because we gotta trust them. I mean, we have been a very successful organization. I know we looking for that ring, but yeah, man. So we could disagree with them and be like, Colbert, I don't know if I would have went there, but let's see what happens, man. Jarvis Jones. Honestly, y'all want to hear my take on Jarvis Jones? I fell for the Kool-Aid, man. I didn't know much about him, but what I did see when I started investigating him, just hearing, not watching, dude led NCAA or whatever it was in sacks. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
So, when I hear that, because at that time, I wasn't paying attention as much. I watch a little film, but I wasn't, I would watch certain guys, but I wasn't doing it like I do it now. It wasn't like a real hobby where you expect me to be able to tell you guys. So when I heard that that's who he was, I was like, oh, he must be good. I mean, you played in the SEC and you lead this and that and sacked. I'm like, oh, this dude must be, his name was Sackman Jones. But some of you guys probably would have thought that was a reach. And clearly it was. Artie Burns, I was on that train. Like, wait, wait, I don't know if he's a first rounder. We didn't agree with that pick. But all we could do was hope that he turned out to be something.
Yeah.
So, we're not always going to agree with the organization, man, but you gotta ride with them.
And also, you're not going to hit with every pick, which is another thing I'll never understand. Why you'll never hit with any pick. The New England Patriots have not drafted a Pro Bowl wide receiver.
Yeah.
I mean, they haven't. So you have to look at it like I look at it like this. I mean, the Jarvis Jones thing, I didn't know Sim then. I mean, I didn't know him then. But when the Jarvis Jones thing happened, I knew about Jarvis Jones because he went to USC. He went to USC first, and he transferred to Georgia. So I already knew.
I didn't even know that. I didn't know none of that. About him.
He was at USC, and he couldn't get me run because that was the Pete Carroll era. You know what I mean? That was when USC was killing everybody, and he couldn't get on. You know what was ahead of him? Clay Matthews. Clay Matthews Jr. So he couldn't. You know what I mean? He couldn't beat him out. You know what I mean? So it's So I look at it like, I don't have that same. I mean, Jarvis Jones, I saw Artie Burns. That's when me and Sim first started talking. We didn't agree with it. You can even make a good argument. You can say, well, Terrell Evans was a reach. You can say that.
Yeah.
You can say that if you want.
None of us agree with that because I was like, whoa, where'd that come from? Because y'all know who I wanted that year as a safety.
Yep. So, every pick that they make is not going to be great. And if you say Colbert has an Achilles heel is drafting cornerback, you can make a valid argument for that he's never been able to draft a great corner. But let's have a real conversation. Have the Steelers picked in the last 10 years, have they picked in the top 15? Or have they had to trade up?
Very true.
Mike Tomlin's never had a losing season, which means, so that tells you right there. So just do the math. He's never had a losing season. So the worst record he could have is 8-8, which will put you where? In the draft. There's 32 teams.
There you
so
go.
You answer your own question. To get a top flight cornerback, you usually got to be in that top 10, top 12, top 15. That's how you get a top cornerback. I mean, so he's never had a chance to draft one of those guys. So, I just every pick's not going to hit. You just we have to trust them for what they do. And then some people get hurt. Old Miss got hurt. I mean, he had potential, but he got hurt. He can never get on the field. So, it's just a thing that you should keep in mind.
Whoa. Trask? Whoa. Okay, Bucks.
They drafted Kyle Trask?
Okay. Well. I see that.
How do you feel about that? He's not their future.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, if you want to go with the whole Tom Brady will mentor him, Brady's not going to be playing much longer. I mean, obviously not at 43. But I don't know if he's their future. But, if Bruce Arians, I'm a big fan of Bruce Arians, man. I mean, somebody knows something. Maybe Leftwich saw something in him. I mean, I'm looking at him now.
Well, he fits their offense because they don't run RPO.
Right. And, why not allow Brady? It might work out for him. We'll see. Because at the end of the day, man, and it's unfair for me to even say this because the man is, this is not old in life, but at 43 years old, I saw the decline in Brady is there. It's been there for the last few years. He's just able to make enough plays, but he's not, it's time. It's about time.
He's beating you with his mind now. That's how he beats you. He's beating you with his mind. Like you make a mistake. I mean, perfect example of him beating you with his mind is Green Bay is up before half. Tampa Bay gets the ball, and the quarterback plays off man. Brady sees it and just throws it deep. And the funny thing is Tony Romo called it. He caught it.
Tony
Like,
Romo, boy.
He's like, what are you doing? He's like,
Romo
he's gonna
Damas.
throw it. Exactly. So, that's how I look at it. I just think it's an interesting. To me, I agree with you. That's a great backup. He can learn from Brady.
Yeah.
Don't know if he could be a franchise guy, but he could be a Brady retired. It also gives Brady the comfort to know that his job. He can play as long as he wants. So.
Ooh, Jaguars loading up on the low. I like Cisco, man.
Yeah, I like Cisco too. Yeah,
y'all know what's so funny? Y'all gonna laugh at this, man. But when not this year, because I haven't done it with Madden 21. But hold on, real quick. Get back.
I am his maid, so that's how rich he is.
Get out. No, here. Oh, hold on, come here real quick.
Yeah.
Look in the camera and say, "Hey, Uncle Kevin."
Hey, Uncle Kevin.
He's in here. All right, okay, that's enough.
Be subscribed, and I'm his maid, the richest man in YouTube.
Yeah, right. Okay. So let me give y'all some backstory on that. He like all these other kids now watches YouTube, and he watches people like the royal family and all of that. And so in his mind, at 7 years old, that's where he wants me to get to, YouTube wise, because they driving Ferraris and all that. And I'm like, son, they don't happen like that for everybody. You know what I mean? But all right, thank you there, brother. But what was I about to say? Madden, right? Haven't done it this year because I just couldn't stomach it with Madden 21. But in previous years, we would always do like Madden 20. We would do in our online franchise, we always customize the draft class. So we have a lot of these guys for the next year and then the next year. So it's always funny when I see some of these dudes now getting drafted, because I had Cisco on my team. He was my safety in one of those years. So it's funny now to see him like a year later actually being drafted. But
I like Cisco. I don't know if I kind of scouted him a little bit, but as you know, Sam, when I watch whatever game, if I'm watching the game, a nature now to always pick out somebody or pick out a couple of cats. You know what I mean? Even dudes I don't even know, and because for some reason I feel like it's gonna come back up. You know what I mean? That if they flash, I should say. So. Like last year when we were doing the draft, and we were talking about Kyle Pitts. Remember, we were talking about Kyle Pitts last year, before the draft, and I was like, "Yo, this dude right here," and even watching Kyle Trask. I actually liked Kyle Trask last year, watching him play, and then when I watched him this year, he played the same and he played great, and I actually like him. But I just watched when people were saying, "Yo, he's a perfect Steeler," I'm like, that's not true because we had that quarterback. We have him now. But the difference is Ben was better than him. You know what I mean? And, the next quarterback, and I guess I can make the comparison to the kid at Clemson now, DJ Ugalele, who's a sophomore, will be a sophomore this year, who's just as big as Ben, whatever, and you could say he's big as Kyle Trask. The difference is that DJ is a person that when you watch him, he could be a Steeler because he's so big and he's so strong that playing in that north and that cold wind and all that stuff, it's not going to affect his ball. It's not going to affect his ball. His ball is heavy. He's going to throw it 80 yards. It doesn't matter. So, that's why I look at guys like that. The quarterback doesn't have to be an RPO guy. He has to be able to run the offense. And if you really think about it, Baker Mayfield doesn't have a strong arm. That offense just catered to him, and the run game helps his passing game. I mean, Baker Mayfield doesn't have a gun.
That boy nasty on that bootleg.
Nasty. And it's weird. They ran the same things at Oklahoma. Like, if you watch how Baker Mayfield plays, that's basically like the same offense that they ran at Oklahoma, a variation of it. And if you think, that's why the Oklahoma coach is in high demand for the NFL. That's why NFL teams want him, because they want to run that offense in the NFL. So, it's an interesting thing. I'm glad Sim got to a point where we started watching. Because he does what I do now. He'll text me, "Yo, did you see this kid?" Such, and then it's cool because now I have another person. I can, we can go off each other, and it's good. So, always looking for the next guy. Always looking for the 2022 class. After this draft, we'll be on 2022. So it's a cool thing when you have time to do it. So.
Man, I don't even see us on them. It sucks when you don't even see the team name at the bottom. we got a second.
We got a minute. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, we got to get your.
What's that one? 87? Something like that.
Is it 87 or 88?
Something. 80 something, I think. Wait, no, it can't be that far, can it?
55,
yeah, maybe.
55 to let me see. Let's see.
Because this is the second pick in the third. This is second in the third round, right?
Right. We 87.
It is 87. Oh,
yeah, we're
boy.
87, 128.
Oh, the Vikings took Kellen Mond.
Wow.
Okay.
Would I have taken Kellen Mond in the third round? Would you have taken Kellen Mond in the third round?
Maybe not the third pick of the third round. If the show enough franchise guy that you think is gone, and you just want to see if, like, maybe I would have took him if. I know y'all gonna kill me for this one because we're not so excited by our backups. But let's say we didn't really have, like, we literally didn't have nobody behind Ben. Like, maybe there's two quarterbacks on the roster, maybe, because then it would be what we did when we took Mason Rudolph in the third. It'd be essentially the same thing.
Right.
But
I mean, Kellen Mond to me. I mean, he was impressive when you watched his little pro day workout. It was impressive, but you can't really draft somebody off a pro day workout. So I always look at it like I watched him in the games, and he was inconsistent from what I saw. To be honest with you, as a sophomore, I thought he was going to be a top 10 pick. Like when I watched him as a sophomore, I said, "Oh yeah, this guy has a shot." You know what I mean? Because he can run. He kind of reminds you of Kaepernick. You know what I mean? He had that same type of. His game was similar, you know what I mean, to Colin. But when you watch somebody in college, you kind of want to see development. You kind of want to see them get better every year. And it doesn't necessarily equate to them winning. It's just I want to see them actually get better. So, example I would give you would be somebody like Juju. When I watched Juju at USC, his freshman year he was good. Sophomore year he was good. Junior, he was good. I would say his freshman year, as far as production, was his best year to me. But as far as a player, him getting better, when he became a junior, I was like, okay, yeah, you know what I mean? And it didn't necessarily equate to stats, you know what I mean? Because USC was loaded at wide receiver. So, that's an example. Or an example would be the kid at USC now, the quarterback now that we have now, who I was high on at first, but he had a bad last year. So now I'm looking at him like he has to play good this year, or I can't look at him as a real quarterback. You know what I mean? So those things are important when you watch somebody. So, I like Kellen Mond's game. I just, people were talking about mocking him to us, and I was like, but me and you talked about that. That ended with Mason resigning. I was like, quarterback stuff.
There it is.
They believe in Ben for this last year, and as Sim said, Mason and Dwayne Haskins can battle it out next year and see who takes over. And when the draft comes next year, wherever the Steelers are, they could probably trade up. There's a quarterback that they so desire and go get him.
Yep.
Now that wouldn't surprise me in 2022. A trade up. That wouldn't surprise me. Unless we're just 0-15 or 0-17.
Yeesh. That would be crazy.
So, but if you think about it, most teams to tell you about the picks we had, most teams had, probably we've had a first round grade, man.
That's the thing, man.
That's just the thing that I do remember. I do remember them saying he has a first round grade. And actually, it's funny, Mr. Abs just wrote that in the
Yep.
Yeah, but he had a first round grade. I do remember that. So, it's kind of similar to Heath Miller. You got to remember, Heath Miller failed. in the draft because of the injuries he had in college. He had the shoulder surgery, and Heath Miller fell. Now I'm not saying he's Heath Miller. I'm just saying he's a good player.
The Texans took Davis Mills.
Wow.
Man. Oh, I told you guys earlier, so I just might as well let y'all know. Didn't eat dinner before this, so it's sitting beside me. So y'all gonna see me dip off the screen and come back.
What you getting today? What you eating today? I like to know what you eating today.
Yeah, nothing crazy, man. Just some chicken, a little bit of chicken. Something I just had to throw together real quick.
Right.
But what you think about the Deshaun Watson situation, man? How is it going to end up? Well, what do you think the end result is going to be? I mean, them taking a quarterback here. I mean, it's kind of, I'm not going to say it's crazy because it's not. But if you read the tea leaves, you know, he had been talking about wanting to leave and then the allegations come out. The allegations are out now. So do the Texans, are they considering early on moving on, or, you know, how you think that whole thing going to play out?
It's just interesting that once he wanted out, the allegations surfaced. And I'm not a conspiracy theorist guy, but it just doesn't smell right. The smell test is telling me something else. Why would these allegations drop when you say you want out? You're not coming back. You told the team you're not coming back. Why would these allegations come out? And I'm not defending him because they might be true. But my point is, unless they down or Mike Tomlin organization protected him, you know what I mean? It didn't let stuff get out. And the Texans did the same thing. I mean, they paid the man a lot of money as a big contract. So
yeah,
the question becomes, what happens to him? He's devalued. And from all intents purposes, for what you know about him, he always came off as a good guy, a good person. But to have not one, not two, not three, not 10 people, women coming out against you. I mean, talking about not a good look. I mean, that's like the worst look that we can see. So it's one of those situations where until we have all the information, you can't have an accurate assessment of what his future would be. Because, I mean, it's just unfortunate. It's an unfortunate situation because the kid had so much potential, and if he was in the right situation, I believe he could win chips. He won chips at Clemson. I think he could have won chips in the NFL. And I just think that it's an unfortunate situation, and we don't know. We have to let it play out. I'm not taking any sides. I want to hear all the information before I make an assessment. It's just very interesting that those allegations dropped right when he started saying, "I'm one out." So that's my thoughts on it. I mean, I guess the question is, how do you feel about it? I mean, you have to look at it from your perspective.
Yeah, man. It's like you said, I want to hear both sides of the story. I'm a firm believer in, listen, you innocent until proven guilty.
Right.
The allegations don't always mean nothing. I mean, the number of allegations is a concern, though.
Right.
Plus, man, some of this, have you seen some of those allegations? I'm like, come on, that's weird.
That's my point. Yeah. Right.
Just so y'all know, one of the allegations from one of the massage therapists was saying that the dude would like be air thrusting. You know, like he would get himself excited and then he's air thrusting. And I'm like, come on. Like, and I'm not saying it didn't happen, but I'm like, he's got to be a weird guy if that's doing something for him. I know what I'm about to say is going to sound crazy, but follow what I'm saying here. I would rather hear that he physically tried to do something to her, right? And then at least you could connect those dots. And I'm not with that, but at least you could say, oh, okay, he was just a horn dog or whatever you want. But He's air thrust. He's pumping the air. He made himself aroused or whatever. Like, come on, man. Like that's like really. Not saying he didn't do it, but some of those allegations don't even sound like. You got to be a weirdo. And I'm not even going to say, hey, he's Deshaun Watson. He's a millionaire. He's young. He could get any girl. I'm not going to say that because people have mental problems. But that's what I'm saying. If he's doing something like that, that's a little deeper than him being perverted. Like that's if you get your rocks off like that, bro.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying, man.
Yeah, that's different. That's a different discussion.
It's different.
I mean, I guess the question is he Lakeith Stanfield weird?
That's what I'm saying. Then look, for any of you guys that know Lakeith Stanfield, I was telling Kenyon this last night. That dude is weird. I like him as an actor. Don't get me wrong. I love him as an actor. But if y'all ever just seen his interviews and some of the stuff he's done, that is a weird individual. And that's what I'm saying. Deshaun Watson would have to be on that level. And nothing in his history has shown that. Now, again, y'all talking to let me not say that. Because I don't want to speak somebody's name here on air. Because that just ain't my style. Let's just say this. There's somebody who was in the NFL that I know personally. Not gonna say the name. I'll let you guys say it. I'm not even gonna confirm it because again, that's just this code. But the only reason why we even speak this much is because it was in the media. There's somebody that I know that was in the NFL, probably was gonna be a Hall of Famer, got himself in trouble, got locked up, still there, behind some sexual stuff. Nobody would have saw that coming. The stuff that they said he was doing. Now, some of y'all will probably figure out who I'm. Just think about it. Dude was going to be a Hall of Famer, no question. He was going to be. News came out, some sexual things, a lot of allegations. But what I'm saying is the physical act that came out for us who know him was like,
right?
What? For real? No. Now, granted, I'm a little younger than him, but I know the family, and that's all I'm going to say. Because if I go a little deeper, people that I know will say, man. So, again, that's just code. That's just G code. I'm not going. But if y'all figure it out, cool. But I'm just saying. And I'm not going to confirm it or anything. So if anybody asks, I'm just not going to confirm who it is. But nobody would have saw it coming. So unless Deshaun Watson is on that level where it's like, he got some weird stuff going on and he's been able to mask it, it's possible. It is possible. But
it is. Yep.
Man, I hope not, man. I just hope it's not true because, again, I'm about to sound real insensitive right now. But if you got problems like that, I'd rather you just, pay to play or something. You know what I'm saying? Don't do the weirdo stuff because there's fetishes in the world. Yes. You could probably find people who into that. So you don't have to go to the massage therapist and get yourself all hyped up and start thrusting the air. There's probably an ad for that. There's probably women that's waiting for that. There's weirdo stuff out here.
There's an app for that.
Exactly.
I'm not trying to be funny. There's an app for that. If you want to,
That's my problem with it, man. If you just, pay to play, man. Because at the end of the day, even if you sick, you still got to be smart. There's CEOs of companies who are sick.
Yes.
Like when I say sick, I'm talking about they into some twisted stuff, but they know it well enough to, I do this over here, I do this over there. And that's what I got to say to Deshaun Watson. Whatever you do in your personal life is up to you. But if you literally did what these women are saying you're doing, that was some weirdo stuff, bro. Yeah. So that's all I got.
I would have to agree. And Sim has told you guys, Sim used to be in the music industry, and me and Sim, there are stories that
I just
don't talk about them, but there are stories that I know about that I've personally been involved with people that y'all bought their albums, and and I just know what they've done, and you just don't talk about it, you know. So it's like Sim said, you can compartmentalize everything. Like those CEOs that have those fetishes, they can have a regular 9-to-5 job, do their job at the best of their ability, and then once they get off, it's two different things. You know what I'm saying? And I try not to. I separate it. I try not to judge people in their personal life unless it affects. Unless you're doing stuff that really affects, like, you start doing stuff. When it starts getting the kids and just stuff you shouldn't be doing. That's a different discussion. But you have to be able to be able to separate the two. You know what I mean? Because I think it's the culture we live in now where everybody wants to be canceled. They try to cancel everybody for their past stuff they did in the past. And I always tell people, everybody's human, man. When you're 18, 19 years old, 20 years old, you're going to do stupid stuff. It is what it is. You are. You know what I mean? And should it bite you later on in life if you've grown up? You know what I mean? If you've evolved or developed. So, I think that's the downside of that situation. And I warn people, you try to cancel everybody because of stuff they did in the past. Because people say, well, you have to cancel them. Like, then you're not gonna have any actors, you're not gonna have any entertainers.
Oh man.
You're not gonna have any athletes, you're not gonna have anything. And those who want to cancel, who want to be really cancel is just you're trying to be a judge. You're judging other people. When you do that and you can't judge yourself, that's all I can say. You know what I mean? The best way I can tell you is that you should be able to separate the two. I don't have to hang out and rest in peace. I don't have to hang out with Michael Jackson. But I love his music. You know what I mean? I don't have to. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to do both. You know what I mean? We're not hanging out, so it's not a big deal to me. But it's an interesting thing. Me and my friends had a discussion all the time. It's like, it's like the R. Kelly situation. Do you still listen to R. Kelly? And I always tell people, look,
that's a tough one.
It's a tough one. But the question becomes, I always say, but you have to be able to separate.
Yeah, I can't unhear the music.
Right. Do the songs have different meanings to me now? Some of those songs?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. They absolutely do.
Especially the sexual ones, which were plenty.
Yes.
But
right. But
being a music dude, man, it's like, when I tell people that R. Kelly is one of the greatest of his era, you could even, it's hard to say greatest because it's so many, but you talk about songwriting. And I'm sure Kenya's the same way. We hear music a little differently.
Yeah.
So it's like that dude, man, nuts. Like, you can't take that away from him. But some of them songs have a lot of different meanings now. But here's a funny one. It's just, to take it away from football real quick. I was watching the Joe Budden podcast the other day, and he made a great point. He said, you think we can trade for something in exchange for being able to get Step in the Name of Love back? And then, the cast was laughing. He was like, no, think about it. That song has been so important to people, like wedding. He said, and he ain't talking about nothing. He said, at least on that song, he's not talking about anything, no sexual situation. He was like,
You're right.
And it's like, yo, because you get the people who are now that he's done what he's done. Oh, his music. I've heard people say this. His music won't even that good anyway.
No.
Stop, man. Just say you don't agree with what he does. Like, we can't act like the dude. Like, again, some people don't listen to music the same way. So the conversation, we might not see eye to eye on that part of it because I'm listening to him from a different ear.
Right.
But yeah, it's tough though, man. Yeah,
you can't. You make a great point. You can look, man. I've been in circles with Robert Kelly. I've been in a couple of those situations with him. But I don't, I look at it, I have to be able to separate. You have to be able to understand that one thing is an art and then the other thing is, they can, like as Sim said, you can be kind of sick. And the one thing is weird is that if you look at most artists that you consider great or you could consider genius level, or I don't like to use the word genius because they throw that a word around like it's, like they throw around GOAT now. It's like everybody can't be a GOAT. Everybody can't be great. Everybody can't be a genius. But when we use those words, Robert Kelly for his era, you can argue has been the most prolific songwriter. You can make that argument for his era. He's me personally, what I've done, I don't consider him a great singer. I never have. But I always tell people, if you can write great songs and make great songs, that's a gift. Say whatever you want to say. And was he heavily influenced by the Isley Brothers? Yes.
Absolutely.
Was he heavily influenced by certain people? Yes. But he's you have to give him his due in certain situations. And did he copy I'm a little older, I'll throw you off. Did he copy New Jack Swing and Guy and Teddy Riley? Yes. That's what he did on the first album. Did he copy Aaron Hall? Yes.
Yeah. Go back and watch Honey Dip.
No,
he had Aaron Hall whole style, bro. Right.
No,
the baldy.
Before that, remember the first song was Vibe. Remember he came out that Vibe. It sounded just like
Vibe.
It sounded just like a throwback Guy song.
It sounded just like Guy. Yep.
So my thing is always like, you have to, so to me, I always say he's a great prolific guy. I won't call him a genius because people ask me what genius is to me, and I always say genius to me is when you do something that people try to duplicate, but they can't. An example I would use would be somebody like what Stevie Wonder was doing. That's genius stuff because you shouldn't be blind in writing. You know what I mean? What Prince did, yeah, Ray Charles. That's genius stuff. What Prince did, that's genius stuff. I always tell people Michael Jackson was a genius. Why? Because he had the vision. He knew exactly what he was. You know what I mean? And so I always tell people and if you want to go to hip hop, I always tell people, look, when you start talking about genius level rappers, that list is short to me. It's not a big list. You know what I mean? And as Sim is younger, so Sim's gonna say to him, his guys were Nas. He might throw Biggie in it, Big, Hove. That's his guys.
And here's some geniuses. See with me and Kenya could talk all day.
Yeah.
Dudes that I really, really like even outside of those three.
Right.
Most people don't even talk about.
Yes.
Black Thought is one of the illest rappers ever.
Yep.
Nobody puts him in that list.
Yep.
Royce the 5'9", nobody puts him in that list. Pharoah Monch, nobody puts him in that list.
Yep.
I'm a head. And if Kevin's still in here, don't even get Kevin started. Kevin was at the birth of hip hop. He's from the Bronx. He was there. Don't get him started.
Yeah, and I'm part of the I'm not first generation, I'm second generation hip hops. You know what I mean? So my history in quick story, used to work out with used to see African Mbata and all them all the time. They see them all the time. So
you got some allegations too.
Yeah, you got too. Yeah, I'm not even going there. But yeah, so like that whole situation for me, like when you start talking about genius, and like Sim said, Sim knows his history. So like Sim said, we can talk all day about that. Like you think football, if we went on some music rants, oh my God, we'd be here all night. You know what I mean? So it's like for me, I always say, when Sim said it, I always say Rakim, KRS-One.
Yep.
Big Daddy Kane.
The teaching. Come on. Chris was special. Special.
I mean, I can throw y'all people more. I can say, look, man, they only have one great album, but it's one of the best albums ever in hip hop. And if you don't have it, go get it. X-Clan's first album, go get it. Get the first X-Clan album. PE, NWA, you know what I'm saying? Those are all, that type of stuff. But everybody has their own, that's the beauty of music. But I always try to, I know my history. I always call it Cool G rap.
I see y'all. Okay, I see y'all.
Souls of Mischief. You know what I'm saying? Old school, early early Ice-T. So y'all know about that. Y'all only know about it from the TV shows and them doing movies. Y'all know like old Ice-T, early Ice-T when he was doing Pusha Man and you know what I mean and all that stuff. You know, is he helped Drake. But people don't know that. You know what I'm saying? So it's a weird thing. So it's yeah. I just I can go all day on that. You know, and the funny thing is, I'm an R&B dude. So, but I grew up in. I have no choice.
Me too. I love R&B.
I'm an R&B dude. You know what I mean? I can go there like Guy and all that stuff, and Sim already know my story, but I ain't telling it. But
y'all don't know, man. Let me tell y'all something. Kenyon. I'm gonna just say this. Kenyon is born and raised in Los Angeles. Kenyon's mother's famous. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna say nothing else. So, because the reason why I'm gonna at least qualify that, because I know a lot of times when people hear people talk, it's always the man. He lying. No, he's not. If y'all knew who he was connected to, he's not lying. People always tell me that when I say, yeah, man, when I was doing my thing, I opened for Nas, Common, many of people, LL, and people be like, for real? Yeah. Lupe, I mean, I got a picture of me and Lupe and my boy Jason I could go grab from right over there. But some people never believe that because they like, nuh-uh. But here's my thing with celebrity and stuff. Because I wasn't a celebrity. We didn't get that far. When we was doing our thing, I'll tell y'all the honest truth. I'm a hip hop guy to the core, right? When we had a chance to bubble, it was right around the time when the modern day sound started taking over. I can't do that.
Right.
I can. But
he's a real one.
That ain't me.
Yeah,
he's
a real one. You can't. Yeah.
I can't do it. I can't do the snap your fingers stuff and the mumble rap. No, I gotta go in. I'm a rapper, a rapper's rapper, like an MC. Like I was never Now I could write that because I have a song that I did that got some burn in Atlanta. It was more of the Southern style it's called Cushion Patron. That wasn't me. But my boy was like, yo, trust me, write this record. All right. And even with me dumbing it down, you can still hear, you know what I'm saying? So that's kind of how I kind of bowed out. I was like, you know what? I'm good. I've always grown up loving music. I got a chance to actually do it for a while. Got paid for gigs and stuff. That's all. That was all I needed. That was the dream. I didn't have to be, this top notch. I'd rather just say, yo, I had that moment. It was fun. I did more than a lot of people. Just never was famous.
Yep.
And now I actually can do my real passion. The funny thing is, I always liked making music.
Right.
That was before even wanting to rap. Right. I was into music. Then I discovered, I could do that too. And that took a different turn. So I put beats on the back burner. But now that I've quote unquote retired, I'm not a performing artist. I just make music. I make music, my own music. So that's my hobby right there now, So that's a little backstory, man. But like I said, Kenyon, I remember when he told me who his mom was, I was like, oh, for real? Wow. But see, this is this thing I love about Kenyon, right? Same with me. That never came up in conversation.
No,
that's a jewel to the young people who might be listening to this. Kenyon ain't brag or nothing like that. I found out that in passing. Just that what? Oh wow, that's dope. And that was it.
Don't talk about it. I mean, it's not. I always looked at it like it's not that important to me. I'm not saying that's not important, but I mean, I know a lot of people name drop and they do all that stuff, and you get industry, you do that. And I grew up in it. I was born in it. I had no choice. But I just don't. It's not. Look, as I always tell people, that's just my mother. That's the best way I can put it. It's just my mother. You know what I mean? And I'm just proud of my mother. That's all I care about. And I think it's for most people, they're not close to their family. And I think that's another thing that we're Sim and I connected. Not even that we're Steelers fans. Our birthdays are 2 days apart. It's not even that. It's just when we started talking about when we got to music stuff and we just in passing having conversations, it was just like, wow, that's kind of crazy. You know what I mean? It was almost like
Yep.
I don't want to say, I'm one of those people that I don't try to believe in divine intervention I don't understand, try to make it a big thing. But if you meet somebody, however you meet them, and then you connect that way, it's just weird. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, I always tell people it's just a weird thing. So when me and him start talking, and even Tony, me and Tony has called me. We've had conversations, you know what I mean? And both of them. I always look at it like it was just that was a good thing that I met them. You know what I mean? The way that I met them. And I always feel like, me and Sim, our music ties, with his, his mother who's gospel, and my mother who was, as Sim said, very, everybody.
Famous.
That's what I can put it is everybody in the chat has heard.
You're daggone right. And your parents done heard her.
That's all I can say.
Famous, brother.
Your parents has heard it. So in those scenarios, I just try to always keep it like, always be I'm always gonna be humble in those situations, never talk about it. And I was in a group. And Sim know that too. I was in a group with somebody who, did some stuff, with a group I mentioned earlier. So I've been in those situations, I've done it for a long time. And it's hard to try to do that stuff when you got a sibling playing. Yeah, it's hard to do that when you got a parent doing it. So it's an interesting thing, that dynamic. And I actually went the other way. I said, I'm gonna play basketball, do the opposite, but you'll always be drawn back to what you're, I guess, born to, if you're born to do it, you'll be drawn back to it. But me and Sam, we connected on that. I was crazy because, to be honest with you, I never thought that I would meet, not let alone somebody that liked the Steelers, be an Aries, birthdays 2 days apart.
That's crazy.
Both did music stuff. So when Sam started talking about you doing music stuff and he opened for certain people, I was like, that's funny. You know what I mean? Because I remember when I was 18 years old, we opened for Souls of Mischief. Which is crazy. You start thinking about it, because I was in a little mixed group with a hip hop, with a rapper, and I was in that type of group, so until I just went full R&B. So it was, it was kind of like, I got my stories, I just, me and Sim have our stories. It's just, but it's not really a big deal. It's just a trip, life is funny.
Chad Surratt gone. It's all good though. I ain't mad about that, but I thought that might have been a dude that could have been there. But wait, seeing it how the draft is going, I think I'm probably looking more for an offensive line in the third. But let's not forget though, we got two fourths.
Yeah, that's right. We got 2 fourths. The rapper you forgot to talk about. We forgot to mention Andre. Give Andre his credit.
Oh,
come on,
man. Incredible.
Come on, man.
Incredible. One of the best.
You gotta put him in there, man. I know people be trying to do that reverse Elvis stuff. I'm like, look, man, stop reverse Elvis in that kid. You know what I mean? He's never disrespected our culture, technically. You know what I'm saying? And he's always been true. You know what I mean? So, and you can't deny his skill set. Say whatever you want. You can't deny that. And nobody wants to battle him. So that's the true measure to me. That's
wouldn't be wise.
That's the true measure of MC. Do you want to battle him? You know what I mean? And you can't get Busta Rhymes. Come on, man.
That's another one on the low. And I say on the low because people know Busta for his anthems and singles, but now you got to listen to the albums. Busta's a serious problem.
My question is if you're a Busta Rhymes fan and you know Busta, if you know the first album he dropped, his first solo joint, not the songs that were singles, it's the songs that are on the album cuts.
Yes.
Like Flip Mode Squad versus Def Squad, if you know what I'm talking about. Like Hot Fudge, if you know what I'm talking about. If you know about Raw, if you know about that song on that first album.
Make sure everything we make is raw.
If you know about that, it's that's real Busta. That's and I always make this comment. He was one of the people did not want to rap after Busta. All you have to do is listen to every song he was on during when he was hot. Nobody wanted to go out as a rapper. You did not want to go after Busta with a verse.
I knew this was gonna happen sooner or later. Let me put it on the screen. New York rappers is low key overrated.
Come on, man.
Man, listen. And see, I'm not even now. If you want to ask, my influence is more East Coast, New York, but I hate when people say that because there's some down south rappers that are overrated too.
Yes.
West Coast rappers that are overrated. Like, what does that even mean? I like MCs. I don't like rappers.
Yes.
I like MCs from everywhere. UGK, Scarface, Andre 3000, Outkast, all of that, all the way up to New York, all the way out to the West Coast. Kendrick Lamar is one of my favorite right at the moment, and he's gonna go down as one of my favorites of all time for this era.
I agree.
J. Cole, that's North Carolina. So I just hate when people say that because it's always like people try to poke at a coast or a region, and I don't understand that. It's dope MCs everywhere. T.I. I like T.I. a lot.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like I don't get that. I don't get that.
And then also you to make that
8-Ball MJG. Oh yes, 8-Ball and MJG. They was
and to
I actually got a record with MJG actually
on
a mixtape. Yeah, on a mixtape. He did the hook.
Okay. They got I like that. I got
Coffee Shop with 8-Ball and Redman. How many of y'all know that record?
Yeah.
Dope record. I like MCs from everywhere. So I just King Los. Yeah, that boy is silly. Let me tell y'all something. King Los, if you're talking about somebody that can just go off the top of the head, he's a serious problem. If y'all don't know who that is, just go YouTube King Los freestyles. And I'm talking because in the hip hop game, and Kenyon, I'm sure understands this being in the music. Let me put some of y'all on game. When you hear somebody say it's a freestyle, or like when they used to do the BET Awards and the Cypher, those are not free. Those are not traditional freestyles. When I was a kid and I grew up, freestyle meant you just going off the top of the head, pulling from here, pulling from there. Yep. But when you hear a freestyle on the radio, on a mixtape, it's a written verse. You may not have ever heard it. Right. When dudes are in ciphers, like on the award show, those are verses that they had in the tuck. It's a freestyle because it's not on the album, not on a mixtape, yada, yada, yada. But when I talk about King Los, he freestyles. I mean, like, throw words at him. And the dude is, look him up. Look him up when he was on Sway. Retarded.
And Sway, and here's the thing about Sway, which is even funnier than that. I don't even know if you guys know about this. Sway is a West Coast guy. So he used to have Sway freestyles in LA when I was young. I'm talking about he had guys on there that was just freestylers. But the one thing you learn from those shows is there's a difference between the guy who's a freestyler and the guy that can rap and make hits. It's two different things. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's two different scenarios. So you can say, well, that guy, he has freestyling skills, but he might not be able to put it on wax like that. And it's just the reality. You know what I'm saying? It's and Sim is correct. The art of MCing is you have to be a great freestyler. That's the art of MCing, of real MCs. And to say that low-key East Coast rap, look, without the East Coast, you have no rap. So you can spin it any way you want to spin it. Without the East Coast, without New York, you have no rap. And I just saw that, son. Big L, are you serious?
Toast, you got to explain yourself on that one.
Explain yourself on that one. Sorry.
And shout outs to Toast. He said King Los died versus Daylight. I didn't see that. I like Daylight too. That's the battle rap scene. That's a totally different. Just like when Joe Budden battled Hollow the Dawn, that scene is different. Yeah. Nobody that knows hip hop could ever say that Joe Budden isn't stupid with the lyrics. Whether you hate him or love him, Joe Budden is a rapper, right? Yeah. But when he went on that scene, that battle rap scene is different. Yeah. It's different. And Daylight is a monster with that. So I don't disagree, for people who think he's dope, if you listen to that, but I don't know if I consider King Los a battle rapper, but I don't know. But yeah, I mean, if he caught one as far as a battle to Daylight, I don't think that's that's not a you don't feel bad about that.
Yeah.
Daylight is one of the top dudes. But we just killing time, y'all. We're gonna get back to football. We just we waiting for 87,
Wait for our pick. We're having an off steel table. It's like shooting a breeze. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's all we doing. But but Simmons correct.
Oh yeah.
The Simmons correct. You can't. Yeah,
this is my dude right here. I know Skills.
Yeah, man, Skills. Yeah,
Skills from my hometown. Like I've been around Skills 100,000 times. That's my dude right there.
Yes. Look, I always tell people it's funny. Look, I used to hang out with the alcoholics. Now I'm not gonna get into what I used to do when I was with them, but I used to hang out with them and Sim know who the alcoholics is, and I'm not gonna get into I'm not gonna get into what we used to get into, but it was some stuff. But and I went to school and I went to the same high school, went to school and grew up with Trey from the far side. So that's So I know some, I knew some, growing up, So, and I respect people that have skills. I've always done that. I have no choice. I don't respect people who, if you're not saying nothing when you're rapping, it's hard for me to listen to you.
Yeah, got to be some substance. Now, here's something that I can show y'all too, that show you that I listen to everybody. Out of some of the newer dudes, you know who I like, who really be saying something, and at first I didn't notice? Lil Baby. Lil Baby be snapping when he wants to. He can rap. But I didn't know that because I was introduced to Lil Baby from melodic singy rap style.
Mm-hmm.
The boy he be snapping. I like Lil Baby.
Yeah.
I even like what's the other baby? The Baby. He can rap too when he wants to.
Okay.
But I think they tiptoe on the line of, they're smart. They're smart. But those dudes, they can rap. It might not be, again, to go back to what Toast was saying, it might not be the New York style. It might not be the West Coast style, but I acknowledge good artists. I don't care where you from. Common is from Chicago.
Yeah, you're right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean,
if you want to go there, you want to take it there. It's some dudes in London that's killing cats. If you want to go there, there's some cats in London that's killing cats. You know what I'm saying? That have skills. And I can't think of that rapper name that just freestyles. And I know Sim, you know who I'm talking about. That's from London. He just freestyles. All he does is freestyle. I think his name it starts with an A. You know who I'm talking about. He's done like these ciphers. He does like these freestyle ciphers, and he goes off the head. But
I'm sure I've seen him before.
Yeah, but there's some dudes over there. I'm talking about. I don't know if dudes want to mess with that cat. You know what I mean? Like real talk. Like I don't know if they want to go there. But yeah, I'm part of that. And I don't like to leave the ladies out because look, I was in the
Corday nice. Corday's nice.
Yeah. Because I've seen nice. You can't leave out Latifah, MC Light. Lauryn Hill. And Lauryn Hill, if you want to have a real conversation, if she wasn't so messed up by her relationship issues, the story would have been different.
What about Alchemist? Somebody said Alchemist. I mean, he's a producer.
He's a producer.
So I'm just he's he's a hip hop producer, but he's not an artist.
Yeah, he's not an artist.
Mia X was dope. I liked her as a female back in the day. Probably the best rapper. She probably was the best rapper in No Limit outside of Mystical.
Oh, what about Rod Digger?
Oh, serious. That Jersey style all day. She was crazy.
Yeah, to me, I think female rappers. To me, if you're going skill for skill, of all
21 Savage.
No. We're not talking about 21 Savage. I'm talking about I'm not talking about 21 Savage.
I'm gonna be honest, yo. I got an unpopular take about Lauryn Hill. Y'all gonna be some people ain't gonna like this. I think Lauryn Hill is one of the illest. Sometimes I struggle to say female rapper. She She could body, but here's an unpopular opinion. Can I put her in the all-time great category when she technically has not had
more than one album?
She has not had a pure hip-hop album. I know Fugees, but that's a group. Can she be regarded as one of the greatest ever? Now, listen, you talking to a Lauryn Hill fan. When that girl opened her mouth and she spit some lyrics, even on her Unplugged with the guitar, there's a couple album songs on there when she spit crazy. But the body of work ain't there. Now, Miseducational Lauryn Hill, classic album. But I'm just talking about from a spitter standpoint. We never got that. We never got a full body of that from Lauryn.
You are correct, and it is a great loophole. You can make that argument that she's never had a pure, but Sim, I will ask you this. You can't put her in that category. You know why? Because she was equally efficient in both. And if you want to have the real discussion, the other rappers that do it, which include males that try to do the singing and the rapping and melodic and the rap singing, they still haven't done what she's done as a complete album. You understand what I'm saying? Because she had pure R&B tracks mixed with pure hip hop tracks, and she executed it to the fullest. So here's the question:
X Factor is one of my favorite records.
That's one of my favorite records. That's I'll listen to that song every other day.
And you know why that's such a body? Because it's on the Can It All Be So Simple sample, and you expecting Lauryn to rap on it.
Yes,
and she comes in with the R&B.
Yes. Woo. So the question is, can you put? Okay, so you're saying because she didn't have a pure, I'm just gonna rap and show you my skills album, you can't put her in. Here's the question: I can only name 2 rappers lyrically that I will pick ahead of her. For females, I can name 2, and I'm trying to be Light and Latifah, because I'm thinking about everybody else. The Brat. I'm thinking about
Latifah was dope. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, so Bahamadia. Okay, why dig it? What you know about that music?
Yeah, we know about Moni Love was Latifah's sidekick. She was dope.
I had a crush on her, y'all. I'm just gonna let y'all know. When I was young, I had a big time crush on Moni Love.
Yo, man, you met me too late, bro. I could have introduced you, but
oh Lord, have mercy. No. I mean, I was such a young chump. Like, what I was gonna do? Nice to meet you.
I could have introduced you, bro. Could have hooked you up.
Oh, Rhapsody. All day, Rhapsody.
Yeah, Rhapsody.
You kidding me? That's my girl right there.
Yeah, but you can only name. That's the only 2 I can put it. Come on, man, Lauryn. And you gotta remember, Lauryn is a disciple. She was under Light. People don't understand that. Don't remember that. Like, she was picked up by the Fugees, but Light was, you know what I mean? Light, she was with Light for a minute. So I don't know. That's the only 2 I can think of. Because the other people you can name I can't say that they will be as example would be like, I love Rod Digger, but I can't put her in that class. And I love Rod Digger. You know what I mean? I'm just thinking of female rappers. I mean, I'm not putting, if I go old school and say Roxanne Shante, no.
Rhapsody is a serious problem. I'm glad somebody brought that up. That's she is.
I agree.
That girl can go.
I agree. But I think your point is correct, Sam. But the question is does she have one of the 10 greatest albums of all time? Me and my friend were debating this the other day. No, regardless of genre, does she have one of the 10 greatest albums of all time?
Who, Lauryn?
Yeah, that one album.
Man, let me tell you something. That's I know when you hold it to 10, it's tough, but man, listen, that's a tough argument. Yeah. Anytime, you can bring that up and be like, "What about Miseducation?" That album, And what made it so dope for me is I'm expecting to hear the rapper, Lauryn. Yes. I had no idea that was the album I was gonna get, and I wasn't disappointed after I listened to it a couple times. I was like, you know what, this ain't what I thought, but classic album, classic album.
Yeah, it was a good debate. I should have called you on that one. I should have called you and brought you in on that one because he was debating. My friend was debating like, I don't know, and I was like, yo, man, if you start really looking at it, it's kind of hard to not put that. It has to be in the discussion, bro, because what you want from an album is for an album to be complete. If you know what I mean. No wasted tracks where you just play the whole thing through. I mean, you can find any album you cannot play the whole thing through. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, it was a nice debate. Your boy
And
gone,
on that R&B tip, off that album, I like to call it the Snap Your Fingers record. The Nothing Even Matters with D'Angelo.
Oh yeah.
Come on, bro.
Yeah. My song, like I tell people, my song is I'm with you. My song is X Factor. If you asking me what song, if I had to pick, that's the one I'm picking. You know,
man,
you just can't get, you know.
Had all us men in this, and all us men listening and singing along.
Here's the thing: if you know who the song is about,
oh God,
it even makes it even it takes it to another level. Your boy gone, man. That's what I'm tell you. I was trying to tell you, your boy gone.
That's a good pick for them.
I agree. I'm with you. I agree.
I like listen, man. I like De'Ami Brown, man. I don't know if he's going to be. I'm trying to get a good comparison. He might not be the best receiver that you're going to find, but I think this dude is going to be very productive. Very productive. I think he's going to be a third down option.
I agree.
I see him as a possession guy. I see him making tough catches. He just kept jumping off of the tape everything. Kenyon would tell you, I'm looking at my boy Williams, and I'm like, yo, man, I like De'Ami Brown a lot.
Yeah.
And with having, McLaren on the other, boy, okay, Washington, I see what y'all doing.
I like that bit. Oh, I guess I'm not mad. I'm not mad no more. I'm not mad anymore. Oh man. But we already addressed it, so I can't get mad. I'm not angry.
Oh Lord, what happened?
Oh man, we addressed it. I can't get angry. Oh man, that's a great pick for them, man.
Oh Lord, I'm about to see it.
That's a great pick for them, man.
You talking about for Carolina?
Yeah, man. Man,
my feelings about to be hurt, I guess.
No, we already addressed it, so you're not gonna be as angry.
Okay,
not gonna hurt you.
It's about to happen. We're gonna see in about 2 seconds.
Oh man.
So we're gonna be back to football here in a minute, guys.
Oh man.
Yeah, pick 83.
Look at
Irving kissing people on the cheek.
Look at that, man. Look at that. Look at that dude, man.
Oh, Trimble.
I'm not mad because we got fry boots. So that's why I'm not angry. But man, I really like him, man.
For you guys that probably already saw it, I'm looking at it now. The top thing for him, it says dominant blocker.
Yep.
Is that not what Kenyon was preaching?
Yep.
Dominant blocker. And now they showing some highlights. Look at that. Oh, get off me. It ain't nothing like football, man. Nah. I hate to be biased. Ain't nothing like. Don't get me wrong. I like basketball. I didn't get as tall as I was supposed to be. See, I play like a forward. I'm not 6'6", 6'7", 6'8". So I found out that like about 10th grade, I said, all right, that's it.
Yeah, you can't.
That's it. Like I was always the dude like that getting the rebounds and
right.
It ain't gonna happen if you ain't, So
unless you're an Uber athlete, I mean, unless you got freaky. If you're a freaky athlete, you know what I mean. You can.
Yeah.
Look, Allen Iverson wasn't 6'1", man. No, I hate to break it to people.
And he was a god.
I hate to break it to people, man. He wasn't.
I can't play like a god.
You know what I'm saying? Now, if your game is like you said, you play like a 4 and you 5. You know what I mean? You 5 and you ain't hitting 6 feet or 6'5", 6'6", then you in trouble. You know what I mean? Because length is gonna beat you every time anyway. So,
yeah, Charles Barkley was just.
Oh, he was free. He's a freak.
No reason he's supposed to have been able to be that good in that position at his height.
He's a freak, man. He's a freak of nature. It's crazy. He's a freak of nature. I mean, he was just blessed.
Sir Charles.
I always tell people that it's Let me tell you something. The Carolina Panthers are having a great draft. I just wanted to put that out there.
Yeah, AI probably was about that. Yep, 5'10"
He was 5. He's about 5'10". I'm 6'1.5", almost 6'2". We were in the same place at the UCLA. We were at the All-American dinner at UCLA. So I stood right next to him. He's not 6 feet. I'm 6'1.5", almost 6'2". He's not 6 feet.
Yeah, listen, I'm 5'10", right? I always used to act like I was 5'11", like that mattered.
Right.
When I seen Allen Iverson in person, like we was like eye to eye.
Right. Right.
So yeah.
What
And I know what 6'1" look like. I know guys who are that it's I guess you would say you're not super duper taller than the 5, but it's a difference.
You see the difference.
You clearly see the difference.
Yeah, you clearly see the difference. Yeah. But what he does have, if you ever saw him in person, is if you look at his arms go past his knees.
6'11", good Lord.
So
a few late nights.
Yeah, 6'11".
Yeah, you up there, boy. See, I envy people like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Boy, I mean, nothing is guaranteed, but boy,
Let me tell you something.
If I was 6'7", 6'8",
man, I tell people I grew up in the wrong era. In this era right now, where you can get paid to play NBA basketball and take off games and still get $100 million. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? And
AI won't nowhere near 6'2", Rajon.
No, he wasn't nowhere near that.
Oh, 5'11". Oh, a few late nights. He said, I'm 5'11".
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But man, we thought we were gonna be tall, man. My dad is 6'3", I believe.
Okay.
Tall. My mom was 5 feet. So what happened to me and my brother? And my brother is about a little bit taller than me, so I think he is probably about 5'11". Mm-hmm. We were tall. Like we were them kids that in 6th grade taller than everybody.
Right.
8th grade taller than everybody. Then all of a sudden everybody started catching up because I probably was 5'7" in 7th grade. You know what I mean? So like I was up there, and then I only grew 3 more inches. Mm-hmm. So when I realized that Maury Rogers went to Green Bay. Okay, I see you.
Oh, they got him a weapon in the 3rd round. Okay.
Right.
All right. Good job.
No, we're gonna be hearing Rogers to Rogers connection.
We up.
But that's the thing. When I got to 9th grade and I looked around, I said, I ain't gonna be able to bang with these dudes. You know, because by that time it was dudes already like 6'3", 6'4". And in high school, you know, you putting them dudes at forward or center.
Yeah.
So I was like, let me stick to football.
Yeah.
Because I play like a forward, like a Charles, but I play like that. I'm not a guard. My handles ain't sick, but so I gave it up. I saw the light.
If you don't have, and then also your size and like you said, the way that you play, I tell people, it works. But then there's also when somebody's taller than you, it's just genetics. Like when the ball comes, he can box out as much as he wants to. If that guy's arms is long, he's getting that rebound. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, for you, I agree with you. Like, I played football my whole life until I got to the night. I tell people this all the time. The reason why I stopped playing football was twofold. I saw this dude in North Carolina hit a game-winning shot. And then I saw him in the playoffs go for 63. And I said, you know what? That guy right there is going to be the best player ever. You know what I'm saying? If something told me, I was like, I think I want to do that. You know what I mean? And then in the culture I was growing up in, I was around like a lot of high school All-American basketball players. And I was great. I was good at football. I could have kept playing. It could have went far. But it became like I'm like Sim. It became a hot thing. Basketball was on the come up at that time. And most people gravitated towards that. And I was able to go play that sport and be successful. So I always tell people it's just, if you don't always tell people you don't make it, for whatever reason, I know more dudes that didn't make it. I know dudes that made it, like went to high school with Harold Miner, Baby Jordan.
Harold Miner.
Yeah, I know dudes that's in the league. But I always tell people it's If you can make a living doing that, like my friend said, you playing a game that kids play and you're getting paid for it. All you gotta do is suit up and play. I was like, yeah, I agree. That's why I think I have beef with players now when they take days off. Because Kobe and Jordan, and you can even argue AI when he wasn't hurt, was gonna play every night. They to them it was ball. We just trying to ball. You know what I mean? And play ball. And their reasoning is correct. There's a kid out there watching, waiting to see you play. And I guess the way I look at it is if you go to Broadway, you pay to see the lead actor, and you show up to the show, and he sits out. You know what I mean? So you see the understudy. You be pissed off. You know what I mean? You be pissed off. So yeah. That's how I look at it.
JR. Oh man, Harold Miner.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, what you know about that, man?
That boy was a dunking fool, man.
What you know about that, man? What you know about that, man? What you know about that, man? What you know about Harold?
Every time I hear names like that, and some people will know because they probably heard it. It reminds me of, again, y'all know I'm a rap dude. It reminds me of when Jay-Z did that freestyle over Pump It Up, Joe Budden's Pump It Up, and he was like, what he said, the Mike Jordan of the mic recording is Hovey, baby, you Kobe, maybe, Tracy McGrady. Right, Matter of fact, you a Harold Miner, J.R. Ryder, washed up America. Every time I hear them names, I just think of that. Right. The way he flipped that was
right. Yeah, Jay
even worse. You a pervis, LSU, worthless fella. You ain't no athlete. You Sean Bradley.
Woo. Yeah.
Woo, my goodness.
Yeah. Jay, look, man. Hey, I always talking.
That's the Jay-Z that I like, not the guy that y'all think you know. No.
Right.
People always want, man. Jay ain't all that. No, bro. Yes, he is. Album cut Jay-Z.
Yeah.
He's
older. No, if you go older Jay-Z.
Older Jay-Z.
Older Jay-Z. When he was young. You go like when he was young.
Black Album. American Gangster.
Look.
Come on, man.
Me and my friends.
The Blueprint.
Look, me and my friends have debates about Jay-Z all the time. But my thing is always this. My point is always this. You can't call people. You can't consider yourself the GOAT if people are on tracks with you and they have better verses. That's my only problem. Like, I don't care if you call it, like, you can't do that. You can't because it's competition. Always looking like Kendrick Lamar to me did the best thing ever in hip hop. When he started calling people out on that one track. You know what I mean? But he said, no, I'm trying to murder all y'all. I'm not trying to be, you know what I mean? I was like, that's the mentality you gotta have.
Love K-Dot, man.
Yeah, it's battle rap. That's what you do. It's faking claims. And to me, that's why I can never put him, because I always feel like, look, man, there are songs where people he wasn't as good as the other guy on the song. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think later on he started doing it for sport. It wasn't, the hunger wasn't there as much.
Right.
Hunger wasn't there.
I agree with you. Yeah, I agree with you.
What? Why Diggy? You know a little something, don't you? He said we needed a Jay-Z, Jazzo, and Sauce Money. For a minute, Jazzo. I was on Sauce Money heavy for a minute.
Hey, Jazzo, man. I'm just saying, Jazzo put Jay-Z on.
Yes, he did.
I'm just saying.
Oh, look at your boy. Your boy.
Yeah, man.
Went to Minnesota.
That. Come on, man. What can we do now?
I don't know. We're going to see.
Here we go.
They walking to the podium yet?
Yeah, man.
Oh, okay. You going to see it before me.
And guess who coming? DMC is coming.
Oh, Run DMC? Yeah, I saw him early. I was wondering when he was going to.
Yeah, he's a Steelers fan. That's a nice little Steelers coat jacket. I'll give him some credit for that.
Them picks be in mighty fast, don't they? Steelers ain't playing.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Who is it?
Yeah, no. Who are they picking?
All right, back to football. I'm gonna read this while you guys are seeing it. The Yinzer fanatic. I like that. That's a Pittsburgh thing. I'm not from Pittsburgh, but I know the Yinzer. He said if the Steelers didn't take Pat at 55, they were not getting a contributing tight in this draft. I fully agree with that. Fully agree. So now I'm going to look away so I can see it. No, matter of fact, I ain't got to see it in real time. I'll let Kenyon announce it. I want Kenyon to announce it. I'm not looking in the chat. I want Kenyon to announce the pick to us. And I'm going to change this banner while he does that. And I'm going to put that person's name down.
With the 87th pick in the NFL draft, the Pittsburgh Steelers select Kendrick Green, guard, Illinois. I love that pick. I put him on the list at the end of the year. He's from Illinois. He's a beast.
He's a what?
He's a guard, but they go convert. You can convert him to center.
Okay.
6'4", 315. He's a beast. We never got to him, but he was on my list. I watched him. I scouted him. But he's a beast.
Oh, that jacket is dope.
Yeah, that jacket is nice. This is a great pick. And Quinn Mertz is still there, right?
Still there.
So that just tells you right there. That's answering the whole question.
Oh, DMC going in, ain't he?
Going in.
Oh, man.
That's a great pick.
I'm about to throw his name up here as soon as I see it. Well, you just told me. But.
Yeah, and the funny thing, he wears the same number as Marquise Pouncey. There you go, Tony.
Oh, wow.
Tony, there you go.
Kendrick Green. Okay.
There you go, Tony.
I got to do my homework.
Yep. Kendrick Green.
All right, folks. I might have to do my running back segment again, and I'll see which one I like out of the two that I'm going to make an individual video. Let's see. The Steelers pick Kendrick in the third. Thoughts. All right, guys. So before I give my thoughts, let me act as if I'm doing an independent clip video here, and I'm going to rehash what I said earlier. Why did the Pittsburgh Steelers take Naji Harris in the first round? It is to my understanding, Steeler fans, they knew they could get offensive line help later. Now, at the moment, we just saw, I'm saying this as if we're watching it live, but at the moment, we know the Steelers drafted Kendrick Green, a guard. My buddy here on the show, Kenyon, my brother Kenyon, is familiar with him. I am not, so I have to do some homework. But I am told that he's a guard. He can play center. At this moment, we only got that offensive lineman, but we also know we have Pat Freiermuth. Steelers might not be done addressing offensive line. But here's the reason why I always say have faith in the team. And to you media pundits, I kept hearing all of y'all say, oh, that is who's going to block for him. And I mean, these top-notch guys on TV. And I'm like, do y'all think the draft is over? Do you think the Steelers are not going to, just because they don't take the projected guy? It is to my belief that the Steelers felt like, listen, we need to do both. And if the highest guy on that board and Naji Harris is there and we're confident we're going to get offensive line help later, that's why they picked him. Simple. The draft didn't end last night. Now, there's some guys who went off the board that I liked, Kenyon liked. One of Kenyon's favorites got picked right before him. Minnesota took Wyatt. Yep. I like Josh Myers because we watched Trey Sermon a lot, so we got familiar with those dudes. Both of them were gone. Dickerson was gone. Creed Humphrey got taken. So I know some of us feel like, there's guys that we should have taken, but I think this is a win-win. Simple as that. And the Steelers might not be done picking offensive linemen. So that is why the Steelers drafted Naji Harris. There you have it. But back to the show, guys.
And speaking of that, Trey Sermon just went to the 49ers.
Oh, okay.
So check this out. So
does he fit?
Yes, because they run that RPO offense.
Okay. But here's the funny thing. Why they showing Pittsburgh right here? They're showing that draft room. Why they showing the draft room of the Steelers?
Wait, on network?
Yeah. I mean, they showing Trey Sermon was picked, but then they were showing the Steelers draft room. Maybe they just panned back to it.
Yeah,
or maybe a trade or something was happening. But here's the thing, man. The funny thing is Sermon was, like we all said, he was sitting right there for us. So had we gone offensive line in, let's say, the first round, still came back and got Freiermuth. So it might have turned into that. Who knows? It may have turned into that if the Steelers decided to go offensive line, higher projection in the first round, came back, and let's say they still was going to get Freiermuth, our man Sermon would have been sitting right there, and me and Kenyon would have been on here saying, see?
Yep.
But they went with Naji, and I'm cool with it because we still got some help. So there you go.
And my quick analysis of Kendrick Green, and now that he's been picked, Sim will probably watch him play now.
I definitely, probably even tonight.
Right, he'll watch him play. My analysis of him is this, and I'll tell you guys in the chat because I watched him. I saw 2 Illinois games. I didn't see 3. I saw 2. But he's nasty. He's Kevin Dotson nasty. And if we're going to get back to being nasty, and I don't know if he can start day one. He's kind of what you would call a project, but he's a guy that I believe can transition to center and eventually become your starter. And I would just tell you guys, watch tape on him. He's nasty. He's a real nasty type kid, athletic, tested well, really rose up late in the process for this draft. So he was a guy that I didn't really talk about him a lot because we had our top kind of like 4 or 5 guys, but I did put him on the list, and Sam can tell you, I texted him a list. I put him on the list. He's just last. He was just the last guy. But that shows you the depth of the offensive lineman in this draft, which is what Colbert was telling people before. So as we were saying earlier, just let it play out. So what have the Steelers done so far?
Mm-hmm.
You got a bell cow running back, you got a future starting tight end, and you got an offensive lineman. They got 2 4th-round picks. They can address offensive line again. I'm just telling you, tomorrow they can do it again. So I wanted to play out, and so far I'm very satisfied. That's all I can say.
Yeah, I don't think I could disagree, man. I think, and I still would have had confidence, but I think I would have felt a little differently if we didn't go offensive line in the third, because I would have felt like I was off with my assessment. Right. We try to act like we can look into the Steelers and kind of think what they're thinking and where they're going. And I think for the most part, we've been right in the first 3 rounds, at least by position. We, as far as the order, who knew? But this is exactly what we thought. So it makes me feel like we really have studied the team and we understand the team. So, hey, man, you get a beast running back. You bring in another guy to help out on the offensive line, and you get a tight end all in 3 rounds, and you got 2 picks in the 4th coming up. Hey, man, I am not dissatisfied with these picks at all.
Yeah.
At all. And where's all the smoke at now? I mean, I want to hear the smoke. All of the people, the Steelers. I want to hear it. I want to hear it. They were stupid. They should have went O-line. Now that we have both. Now, of course, we got to wait and see how the players pan out. But the fact that they've addressed those 3 positions, what are y'all's thoughts now?
Yeah.
I want to hear it.
Because what is their job? Oh, and our boy Nico Collins just got picked by the Texans.
Man,
I wanted him. He was a sleeper. You know what I mean?
Replacing that speed.
You're right. Yeah. Right. So and the Steelers, to me, I still think they drafted a wide receiver. And you know who's on the board, which is very interesting? Michael Carter is still on the board.
Yep. Still on the board.
So interesting. Yeah, I don't think the Steelers are done at offensive line, people. So I think they'll pick somebody else up tomorrow. You can kind of see it.
Here's a question for you, Kenyon. I'll put it on the screen here.
Okay.
I guess they're talking about Kendrick, if he's better.
Oh, is he better than Quinn Mertz? I mean, he might fit better for them. Obviously, they think so because they picked him up. They picked him, and Quinn Mertz is still there, right? If Quinn Mertz is still on the board, then obviously they think he's better. Or otherwise they wouldn't have picked him. Quinn Mertz is a beast, but you have to always remember he's a small school guy who opted out. He did play in the Senior Bowl, and he showed that he belonged. But, maybe the value is, the Steelers value athleticism at that position. And I love Quinn Mertz, what I saw, especially at the Senior Bowl. And I saw him on tape a couple of games I saw, but obviously they like him a little bit better. They like Kendrick a little bit better. I don't know if you know. Kendrick played at a D1 level. He played in the Big Ten. I mean, that's why I can put it. He played in the Big Ten, and that does mean something to Pittsburgh. They care about those Power 5 schools.
I see a lot of people saying trade back into the third. Who we getting? If we trade back into the third, who do y'all want to address now?
Right.
Like, what's the position? Is there a name that you guys out there in the chat got?
Yeah,
if they were to trade,
let us know in the chat. Who would you want us to draft?
We need a corner. Yeah, we do. We need another offensive lineman. Okay, I can see that.
Yeah.
Elijah. Oh, he's still out there. Molded. Is that the Washington's corner?
Yeah, that's the Washington kid, but he opted out.
That's true.
I mean, when you talk about these players, these opt-out guys, you have to remember what Cobra said. These opt-out guys.
This one. Yeah, I forgot it. He's still out there too.
I'm with Jabril Cox. I'm with let's see. I'm with Jabril Cox. I can go there.
My man out there still.
Oh.
Monty.
Yeah, your boy Monty.
Right, still out there. Wait a minute now. No, because Surratt went too. I was about to say,
Surratt's gone.
With the exception of like a Parsons, I was thinking, has there been many inside backers other than Bolton? But Surratt went.
Micah Zabin, Bolton, Jamin Davis.
Yeah. Oh, that's right, Davis too. Yeah.
JOK went. Pete Warner went. Chad Surratt went. You know who's still there? Baron Browning.
Yep, he's still there.
And Monty Rice, Baron Browning, and Jabril Cox still there.
Oh, this is a good one too, Toby. Don't sleep on this guy because word is the Steelers like him out of Auburn.
They really like him.
So he could be a late round guy.
Wait. Ixnay that because it just happened, so we don't have to worry about Anthony Schwartz.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
These got picked by Cleveland.
Cleveland took him. All right.
Yep.
Let's see your boys, Myles Garrett. I ain't gonna lie, man. I sure wish we had we do got one in TJ Watt, but could you imagine if we had another guy on the other? Oh my Lord, Myles Garrett is nice, man.
We had him.
Yeah,
we had him. 48, formerly 48.
Yeah, yeah.
We had him. So I mean, I don't know what and I'm gonna be honest with you. Highsmith has a chance to get in that category. I'm just going to wait. I'm just going to let it happen.
Highsmith going to be nice, man. I concur with that. I really think he's going to be special.
Yep. I'm just going to say this about Cleveland. I don't like Cleveland Browns. They're our enemy. But those last two picks, I'll take that back. I will say the first two picks are good picks, and I will say JOK is a steal if they can find a place to play him. Newsome is an off corner, but you can never have enough great corners. I kind of like what Cleveland's doing.
Oh, that's right. They took Newsome. Ooh.
But Robert Rochelle's still out there. That's another guy that you guys got to keep in mind. Robert Rochelle's still out there.
This one here too. That's a good question. He's still out there.
Dylan Moses, Baron Browning. Who else is still there? What Sim? Your boy is gone.
Oh,
and he went to the Titans.
Who gone?
Your boy, man. Who's your boy from Georgia?
Not Monty Rice.
Yeah, man. Your boy.
Dang. Okay. I see you, Titans.
I see you. That's a good pick. That's a good pick for Tennessee. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah.
Caleb Farley, Monty Rice. Okay.
That's a nice pick. And remember, they got the old lineman. Didn't they get Tevin? So that would be 3, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's not bad. That's not
Boo-hoo, Mason pooped off. Come on, man. Why y'all do that, man, like that? Build his life. You wrong, man. How he catch a straight? Where did Mason Rudolph come from tonight?
What did he do?
He just caught a stray for no reason.
What did he do?
Yeah, guys. So I guess we'll sit here for a few more minutes, and I'll go ahead and wrap it up. Ian Book can be a good RPO quarterback for Pitt. Don't expect that to happen.
Yeah, why do that? They have all the quarterbacks. That'll be five quarterbacks. That'll be 5 quarterbacks in the draft room. Why would you do that? I mean, 5 quarterbacks in the quarterback room. When you have other needs.
And I hate to say this, guys, but I just saw somebody, Leonard Green, say we got to show Cleveland you might be much improved, but the Steelers run the AFC North. Got bad news for y'all. We're looking up in the division as it stands. We still took care of business with Baltimore, but barely last year. Even when didn't RG3 play one of them games and barely beat them? Yeah, and they was pretty much running with virtually a practice squad.
Yeah, sure.
Cleveland, say what you want, but they got us out the playoffs in Pittsburgh. You can blame it on whatever you want to blame it on, but the fact that they did it, we looking up.
Yeah.
Can't say we run the North no more. We got to earn that back.
We're looking up on paper. That's just a fact.
Yep.
We're looking up on paper. Now, it has to play out. And we were 11-0 last year, even though it was kind of a mirage. But, you just have to see what happens. Look, that's going to be a really competitive division this year, people. You have to start looking at it like that. All 4 of those teams can be competitive, including the Bengals or the Bengals, and they can be competitive also. Joe Burrow is he's the real deal.
He is.
So they can all 4 of the teams can be competitive.
Or is Jamar Chase?
yeah.
Holy moly.
So I look at it like,
instant chemistry.
Yeah, instant chemistry, and your boy they had last year, receiver from the kid you wanted in the draft too. 6'4" kid. You know what I'm talking about, for Cincinnati. Rookie, he was a rookie last year. Yeah, receiver. From Clemson.
Yeah. T. Higgins.
Yeah, T. Higgins. He's there. You got to think about that. So, they have a nice little receiving core. It's just we have that division. I'm just telling y'all, might be the most competitive division in the NFL next year. It has a shot because you have to throw Cincinnati in there now. And to be honest with you, I would have been more afraid if Cincinnati drafted. If they would have got Penei Sewell, I'd have been worried. If they would have gave Joe Burrow that bookend tackle to protect him for like 15 years, yeah.
Mason Rudolph 38-7, and Mason Rudolph threw for 300 yards on the starting defense. Come on now. I'm just listen, man. You can say it all you want. I'm just saying. Wait a minute. And Mason Rudolph didn't do that. That was Ben. The 38-7. Yeah, Rudolph did have played great in the last game. I acknowledge that.
He played great in that game.
But guys, I don't care about any of that. We lost to Cleveland at Heinz Field in the playoffs. That's all that matters.
And it wasn't.
So we can say, "Come on now, all we want," but they got us.
Yeah.
So at this moment, we can't act like Cleveland. It's Cleveland. No, it's Cleveland. That's what we should be saying now. So I'm just saying.
And the thing is, Sim warned y'all 2 years ago. He said Cleveland is coming. He did shows about it. He said Cleveland's coming.
And let me tell you something. Odell gets healthy. Man, listen. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah. We're gonna have a tough out. Nick Chubb, we're going to have a tough time.
Yeah.
So
if you want a real conversation, Cleveland might be more of the threat than the Ravens.
Yeah. Facts. Look at this. I ain't mad at that. And I'm going to put it right up here on the Steelers stream. You got to be a realist, man. Listen, I love the Steelers. I have a dedicated podcast for them. I mean, I am a fan, but I'm realistic. There's gonna be times. Me and Tony used to talk about this all the time. There might come a time, and Kenyon is actually keeping us level-headed, a little more optimistic. We don't have to have a lull period. You know, maybe we stumble across a quarterback and we can still stay middle of the pack or something like that. But it's very possible that when Ben Roethlisberger retires, that the Steelers we turn into Cleveland for a couple years, like trying to find our way back. It's possible. So you got to be prepared for that, because when that happens, I don't want to see people running away from the Steelers and they suck. No, it's ups and downs. You're gonna have them. You're gonna have them. We are lucky and we are fortunate to have had, talk about Tomlin's record, whether it means anything or not, but we are fortunate enough in his tenure, we haven't seen a losing season. So we are used to being able to be in the winning talks, conversation of playoffs, Super Bowl hopefuls. We're used to that. But what's going to happen if that time comes and we just not the team no more for a minute? Then I want to see how y'all feel. But I'm just saying, hold on, what Kevin Johnson say? Killing everyone. I'm not being negative. I'm being real.
No, he's being realistic.
I'm being real. Last year, most of us said, man, what did I say? We ain't getting out the first round of the playoffs. And that was when we was undefeated. Me and Kenyon would come on here, or if it was the shows when it was just me, I would come on here and I would say, man, I don't trust this 9-0. Man, I don't. This 10-0, I like it, but it just don't feel good. Ooh, 11-0. Man, I don't like this Washington game coming up. Y'all remember that? Y'all killed me. Y'all killed me on Tuesday. Man, I don't like this Washington game. That front, I don't like it. That front four, we could do nothing against them.
Yep.
And that's because I look at it objectively. I don't look at it through the black and gold color glasses. I don't do that. I don't know. But hey, maybe they'll surprise us, man. Maybe, this is Ben Roethlisberger's John Elway moment.
Yeah.
He mess around and get him a ring and he retire. You never know, but I got to see it first.
Yeah.
That loss in the playoffs got a bad. It's sticking with me, man. That was a bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah, and I had a bad taste before that, just because once I saw teams playing man press and Ben wasn't throwing it over the middle, that's when I was like, yo, we might be in trouble, because if he's not going to take those shots and complete them, or even be willing to take them, we're in trouble, because the defense is new at that moment. So, and as Tim put up with Odessa put, we have such a tough schedule this year.
Okay,
but schedules are funny because it looks tough, but you don't know who's going to get injured, so you really don't know. We might play a team that you would think is great, and they may not be. But that's what happens when you win the AFC North. When you're in the AFC North, you get the first place schedule. It is what it is.
Here's the funny thing, this right here, and then we're going to go ahead and get wrapped up, man. I'm going to go spend some time with wifey. Her arm is aching a little bit, so I got to go be husband. We had no O-line and no run game. That's a true and false statement. The only reason why I say true and false, first 6 games of the season, what happened with our run game? And that's one reason why I don't get so down on the players who are there. A couple of those guys are no longer on the offensive line, but we had 100-yard rushes. I want to put at least 5 games.
It was 4 games. It was the first 5 games. We had 400-yard rushes in those first 5 games.
Got you.
Remember, Connor had 2. Benny Snell had 1. Benny Snell had 2. I think Benny Snell had 2, but we had 4 of the first 5. And then after that 5th and 6th game, when I'm trying to think, where's the game where Bush was gone for the season? The game that he went out,
Was that the first Ravens game or something? Or was it? No.
Whatever game that he went out when we got behind and Ben started to chuck the ball around the field. And I remember we won that game and I said, Ben's going to keep doing that because he doesn't believe in that run game. And that's when you stop seeing the motions. And that's when the jet sweeps became predictable. Remember? Because you kept saying, why do you keep running that play? Remember the text you always send me? Why you keep running that play? Why you keep running that play?
Yeah.
And I was like, because they're not willing to open the offense up and Ben doesn't trust it anymore.
Steelers 2020 schedule. I don't think it was the Raven game because the first Raven game, if my memory is correct, we went on the road because remember, remember Robert Spillane got that pick six.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
So Bush was already hurt. So what game was that?
Let me see. Steelers schedule.
Giants, Broncos, Texans, Eagles. It was in Pittsburgh.
Giants, Broncos, Texans.
Was it the Texan game?
It might have been
one of them games. It was in Pittsburgh, I think.
Yeah, it was in Pittsburgh. He got hurt. Yeah, because me and you were texting. We said Bush just got hurt. When we said
the Texan game was in Tennessee.
The Texans game?
Yeah. Was it the Eagle game?
No, it was daylight. It was daylight. Let me see.
Was it Cleveland? Or did he get hurt? Maybe it wasn't in Pittsburgh. Maybe it was Tennessee.
No, I'm about to find out right now.
Oh, because your boy was in that game too. Devin Bush got hurt real quick.
Yeah.
Because remember, Spillane had that hit on and almost hurt himself on your boy, Derrick Henry. So, you know what? They got it listed here as week 6. We didn't play Tennessee in week 6. They moved it. That's what's throwing me off. When I'm looking at it here on the schedule, they show it as if we would have played them. We played them in week 6, but we didn't. Remember they moved that game?
Oh, okay.
Or did we? Or was we supposed to play them in week 3? I can't remember.
It says
one of them games, that Texan game got moved.
No,
I think that was week 3, right?
Devin Bush got hurt. Devin Bush got hurt in the second quarter of the Cleveland Browns game.
Oh, it was Cleveland. Okay.
Yeah.
And that was in Pittsburgh. Yeah.
Yep.
Gotcha.
He got hurt.
Wait, did we play them in week 6? Yeah, because yeah.
Remember, our games got canceled because of COVID.
Yeah, we were supposed to play them. Yeah. We were both 3-3. They gave us a week 4 bye, and then there we go. Now I got it.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, I'll be darned. So there you have it. You know, so Devin Bush got hurt pretty early there. Game 4. Okay, yeah, Sean had already said it. Appreciate that. Game 4. Houston is the game we got behind. Yep. Could be a 10-year drought. No. It might not be that bad. I mean, like I said, Kenyon, will balance that out by saying, look, there's no guarantee that we have to be trash post Ben Roethlisberger. I mean, anything is possible. You get a stopgap, you get a serviceable guy. But I'm just saying it could be where we see a few years where we're just not the best team anymore. And got to give it up, man. Cleveland has properly built this by not being so good over the last several years. They got great talent. They pretty much developed a new staff over there. You got to respect that. The Ravens are always going to be competitive. Even that year they went 5-11. Who they beat twice? The Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, Cincinnati, we'll have to watch and see how they come up. But I'm sorry, I just can't. I don't have that Steelers runs the North mentality just yet. I got to see that. Now, if Naji turns out to be what we think he is and we pounding the rock, our defense is playing like they are capable of playing with a couple of new pieces or so, then you might hear me have that kind of swag talk again. But right now, it's hard to say. And what if Ben regresses? I'm just saying, man. I mean, I'm optimistic, but realistic at the same time. That's all. But, guys, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap it up, man. 2 hours and 44 minutes. Goodness gracious. I'm going to go ahead and go chill out with the lady. and just hang out, man. Just enjoy the rest of the Friday night. I was about to say Saturday.
Exactly.
Tomorrow, I don't anticipate streaming. For one, that would be an incredibly long stream.
Yeah.
If anything, maybe we'll do a stream after the draft is over. Maybe we'll, if Kenyon is free, or if he's not, then maybe I'll just do a little quick recap stream or something like that tomorrow after the draft. Because even another reason, I know tomorrow I got a barber appointment with me and my son at 12. The draft starts at 12. We pick at 128. No guarantee I'd be back. And I don't know what else is going on tomorrow. So let's just say that maybe there will be a stream post-draft, the entire draft, and we could do a little mini recap.
Or you can do it like last year. Just do the Terrible Tower wrap-up. Remember, you didn't even do a stream last year. You just said we'll just wait to Tuesday, and then everybody you can talk about all the picks.
Yep, maybe we'll do that. So we'll see.
That's what it is.
We'll see how I feel, because if I'm being honest, the streams did well. So maybe it's worth me doing one tomorrow, but we'll see. But either way, I think we had a first 3 rounds. I think we did good so far. I'm gonna go, as I can sit upstairs with the laptop in lap. I'm gonna go check out Kendrick Green a little bit tonight when I get a chance, and we'll see. And just for due diligence, man, I'm gonna go back and even watch some more Naji, just so I can look at the little intricate runs and those type of things, like really hone in. Because honestly, when I'm scouting guys, I look at them, but then it's like I got to get to other people. But when you have the pick, you can spend infinite time on these dudes, because it's like, okay, this guy's on your team now. Learn everything you can about him. So, but all right, man, I think we're gonna wrap it. Anything else you want to say, Kenyon, before we roll?
No, I enjoyed everybody. Enjoy everybody's opinions, and we still got a couple of rounds to go. Let's see how we wrap it up. That's it.
Yep. All right, man. Appreciate you guys. Have a great night. Enjoy your Friday night, whatever that means for you. And maybe we'll see you tomorrow. If not, you'll definitely see us on Tuesday. And there you have it. God bless and good night. Peace.